Welcome back to another Terps Esports Overwatch stream. My name is Alex, aka Gumi, and I'm joined here with...
I'm Tomas. You can find me at Dormant Doormat. And we've got two games, a double-header, back-to-back for you guys. First up, University of Cincinnati Red. It's going to be a best of 5, and tell them about it.
So we are competing in the NECC Overwatch Champion League, and it's the semifinal, y'all. We have made it up this far. Regular season went really well. If you don't follow our social media, I'll just tell you about it now. We went 7-0. We didn't drop a single game, and we also went 21-0 in terms of maps. So we did not drop a single map, didn't drop a single game, which means, we slayed.
Yeah.
What else is there to say?
These players are absolutely dominant. They're in their prime right now, and if I'm a member of the Cincinnati team, I'm shivering in my timbers right now. This is not a position you want to be in facing against them.
Right, for sure. So, taking a look at the players that we have today. First up, we've got Speed, our DPS specialist, going to be on probably Widowmaker Sojourn, that hit-scan specialist. Yeah, no,
anybody that can get a kill with a headshot, you're probably going to see Speed playing them at some point.
Hashtag the peak Speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just next to him, we've got Moose. Our in-house Baptiste god.
Yep. Baptiste, obviously a very important character, keeping the team alive, and Moose he does it amazingly, and he does a lot of damage along with that. But to his right, we have Infectious, our resident tank player for the moment. Going to be seeing him on Ramattra or Junker Queen. You're the tank player. What do you think?
If there's one thing that he does well, he's gonna get up in your face. He's gonna hit you with a bunch of punches. He's gonna hit you with a bunch of, miscellaneous weapons that'll make you bleed, depending on what character he's playing.
For sure.
And the moral of the story is, if you don't like having somebody with a lot of health and doing a lot of damage in your face, doing exactly that, Infectious is not the person that you want to be playing against.
Exactly.
Especially with that Baptiste Moose. He's just gonna be there and he's gonna make your day rough.
Complement each other so well.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of a lot of damage in your face, we've got our Flex DPS, Jay Keys. He's gonna be playing a lot of Tracer, maybe some Genji, depending on the map. Might even see some Hanzo. Whatever the team needs, he's the player that Terps Esports can rely on to play that DPS.
Yeah, Flex DPS is so important. You need that flexibility, especially when it comes to different team comps and everything. So Jakizis, obviously a very integral member of this team. But last, and certainly not least, we have Pumpkin, our resident Lucio one-trick. He does it better than anyone else can, and we love him for it. So, yeah. And not pictured, we've got C3, who is another support player, probably going to be on that Baptiste Zen with Moose, but just different maps. And then also we've got Tony, who we probably will be seeing on the Sigma, the Zarya, whatever the map needs are. And
such a strong team. Like you said, 7-0 regular season, won their quarterfinals match as well to bring them here to the semifinals, and they're hoping to get to the finals.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to see we want to be right there with them. And then right after that, at 9:30, is that right?
Around 9:30. Yeah.
9:30. They will be playing a second game at against Houston, University of Houston, the ABC
Collegiate. Yep, ABC Collegiate series. It's going to be a doubleheader. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. But that one's just a best of 3, while the first one for NECC is a best of 5. So lots of Overwatch for your guys' viewing pleasure. And if that's all we have to say, I think we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we will see you guys in the booth.
See you guys there.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together. Everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete, play, with wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
All right, welcome back, guys. It's a bit of a mad dash, but we're here, and we're beginning to game very soon. We can kind of hear.
Yeah, we're already in the match, and
jumping in right in.
Yeah. Beats are coming up from both sides. It looks like both teams have won about a fight, 40% for each side. Both teams are very healthy right now. We see a beautiful stick from Jake Keys is going to be pulling that Echo out of her ultimate. Beautiful pick from Jake Keys is almost able to find the carry kill, but instead just opting to flip the point. The fight is a little bit lost. So if they can just stop UC from capping any percentage, but they're just going to be forced to back up and regroup and probably force down to one last fight, especially now with Jake Keys is getting staggered so much. And 67% for UC, but we see the Mauga pick.
Mauga?
Yeah,
I can't say I've seen this one before, but against a Winston.
Yeah,
really good.
No, Mauga has actually become very, very strong in this meta. So especially against the Winston, if you're having trouble, you can just kind of go Mauga and you win automatically. So unfortunately, Moose is being forced to use the immortality field, get stuck with the pulse bomb with no immortality field left to save him. That's gonna be it. But a trade from Pumpkin able to find that tracer, but Andog nice. On that Winston able to get the pick back, and now Speed finding Rohan. It's a 3v3. Ooh. Speed finding another Lucio Dozer trade now. It's a 2v2 point now, and with the Melga stuff healing, this is looking really good for UMD.
But Maga's going to go down here, and overtime Wick now starting to stick down Speed, popping those out of desperation, getting juggled by the Winston, will get bumped off the map, but they did make enough time for the rest of the team to come down. Jaquizas will fall, and it's looking not very good for UMD right now, with both supports just desperately trying to get onto the point. And the first round is going to go to Cincinnati Red. And you know what? We didn't see it, but like warm-up game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Warm-up round.
Yeah,
So,
it was a warm-up game for us in the studio, so it must have, of course, it must have been a warm-up round for UMD as a whole.
Exactly.
But no, it was like it looked really close. Well, what we saw a very exciting fight, and then we saw a mad dash for point. So
Right.
from what we saw, UMD seems like they're playing fine and just a little bit unlucky with the fight and the timing in between the rounds. So I'm really excited to see what they decide to bring out into these next matches. That's going to be the tell for us about what
sure.
kind of match it's going to be.
I know specifically UMD takes a bit to warm up and, get into like that mindset, so that grind set. So, first,
Yeah.
it's a first one. It doesn't
No,
really matter.
it's a bit of a slow start.
Yeah,
but
but a slow start.
one thing that I can say about Terps Team Swords, once they activate, it can be very hard to stop them.
Exactly.
They can play off that momentum so well, yeah.
And speaking of the snowball, I mean, we saw a Maga there, and interesting pick that it didn't really end up working out against the Winston. I mean, very well played by Cincinnati to play that just as well. But we're going to see speed bomb the Cassidy here. That's very interesting. And oh, look, there it goes. Paying off, taking out that pesky Echo in the air. Infectious going to find the chaser. In the meantime, it's Speed. You do not want to get into this man's sidelines. He is just taking all the match right now. Finding 2 in the fight, finding almost 3 without Lucio just desperately to stall the point. Okay, alright, get a shot please, thank you.
Finally Lucio, but that Lucio can be so slippery, especially with how much, how many walls there are inside of that area to just keep on bouncing off. But you're seeing that replay, be just able to get that Echo is just so impressive. And the Echo looking like they're getting themselves a little bit as they're falling off the map. It's just going to be able to buy UMD some more time as they're already ticking up to around 10%.
Yeah, we're going to see that Maga swap from you and Cincinnati. The Doomfist just not cutting it, especially against this really heavy brawl that UMD are bringing to the table. And yeah, UMD, they're going to take this fight to the White Room. Maga and Speed is going to be the first to fall. Extremely unlucky there. And it's not looking very good. Moose has to TP in, has to use the cleanse. He's gonna boot out with the beat from Pumpkin. Is gonna be able to save him, and they take down the opposing Maga. Amazing plays coming up from Moose, and Moose taking out the Tracer. It's both supports. Just kidding, it's one support and Infectious. That's on this play. The Speed is coming back. Do not count him out. Soj overclocking against Infectious's Maga, and he will not be able to take her out, but Pumpkin comes in with the kill. Jaquez is coming back from spawn on that Reaper. Is going to TP onto the point, and he's going to give his team time to come back in. But the Death Blossom is not going to find anything with that Lucio boot. And now it's back to drawing board for UMD, but very, very back and forth fights.
Yeah, and they were able to, even though they lost that fight as well. I mean, if you're attacking this point, you're hoping to flip the point, within 30-40% max. So being able to get up to 52% means maybe only one more fight is what's needed. And with the smash coming out, the beat coming very late, and it's just not going to be enough to save this Melga. But that dash almost going to be able to get him out of the cover. In fact, just not letting that happen. As he finds that enemy Melga, and Speed being able to find Lucia, bringing Tracer down to just 1 HP, but she's able to back him, get the Mega health back. So looks like Terps Esports are just dominant in this next fight.
Yeah, just honestly amazing presence of mind of all players, especially Moose and Speed, just to know like where the players are. And Speed, amazing pick off there. That's such an amazing stagger, especially Lucio, such an integral part of any brawl comp. And now that he's coming back late, like now Cincinnati just has to waste more time, and as the point ticks up percentage, that's going to be absolutely crucial because now we're looking at last fight territory.
Yeah, no, not only can you see Red not afford to lose this fight, but they also can't really afford to get off point at this point. I mean, it's going to take them the next 20% with how much damage UMD has just to get on the point. They finally get on, but there's only about 20 seconds left in this round before. And as we see the Hainu coming out, it's not quite going to find Melga, but finally he does fall trapped by his own ultimate. Speed is going to go down, but he's able to find one and force out the abilities from UC Red. So this is still absolutely winnable, especially with how much survivability Melga has on that point. It's hard for him to find a target. So UC Red just playing so slippery, but as Reaper is now coming back, he's going to have the Death Blossom. That's the best way to chase down these squishies.
He's going to choose to hold it for now, but he's going to get taken out by the Soch. That's absolutely massive. But in the meantime, Moose takes out both the Lucio and the Maga. It's a 3v2 right now, but Moose and Infectious are both very, very capable players on their own right, and they almost get it done, but it's not going to happen. Just too slippery on Cincinnati's side. But I think that's okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Melon's still looking very good. They have that Death Blossom. They have that Malga ultimate as well, which can be just so deadly with how much damage that they have, how much damage output. And additionally, 53% on Pumpkin's beats. We could absolutely see that come online in this match. While UC Red only has that Lucio beat and that Tracer Bomb. So all in all, UMD has a little bit of an advantage in the ultimate, but unfortunately, Lucio is going to be able to boop Infectious, and we see another pick onto the Tracer, but UMD still can't go. See, but as UMD is coming back now, they're gonna have to touch right now, and unfortunately, since there wasn't really a fight, since Pumpkin had to go and get Infectious back into the fight, he's not gonna have his ultimate for this fight either. So there's gonna be a very little survivability, especially if that Melgo goes down.
All right, here goes Jaquizas with the Death Blossom, taking out one. The beat and the cage fight come out, and now it's just Jaquizas trying to survive, trying to take out this Maga who is trapped in the cage fight, but Infectious falls first. The Kiriko ult comes out from Moose, and Speed takes down the Kiriko. That's an absolutely massive pick. Cleanse comes out, Pumpkin takes out the Maga. I think we're seeing a UMD victory right here. Just need to take out this pesky Tracer, and she will fall. And that is absolutely massive, because 99% with this overclock on the point, and Pumpkin taking out the Sojourn, and they will even up Lijiang Tower 1-1 on, I don't know which one this is. Is it Gardens?
Yeah, this is Lijiang Gardens is going to go to Terps Esports. Night Market was the one that had gotten to UC Red.
There it is,
and
yeah.
we're going to be seeing on Control Center who is going to be able to take this first game. And honestly, if you're UMD, you're feeling really good, because they were able to force UC off of that Winston, especially on Gardens, which can be a pretty good map to dive. So not being able to play a Winston and forced to play into that Malga, especially on Control Center, is a very brawl heavy map. So we're almost certainly going to be seeing Malgas from both sides, maybe an Orisa. So UMD able to win the Malga Ditto is looking very good for their prospects on Lijiang.
Especially with Jaquizas on that Reaper, which is another amazing close quarters pick, especially in Control Center. It is looking very good for these teams. And here we go, right into another fight. Seeing the same, yeah, we're going to see a mirror comp on both sides. Kiriko, Reapers galore, and look at this, walking onto the Maga, the cleanse is used. That's a really long cooldown that UMD can take advantage of, and Speed is going to go down first in this fight, but here comes the Speed. Infectious running forward, but he will fall, but they are going to trade Magas. Now UMD control the point, and Moose takes out the enemy Kiriko. That's absolutely crucial, and Jaquizas getting booped around and gonna fall. Reaper's desperately low, and it's only Pumpkin on this point, and he will get overwhelmed and he will fall. But
what a close match, or a close fight. I mean,
yeah.
Both of the DPS from UC Red were on like 1 HP. Unfortunately, nobody was quite able to find just that last little bit of. UMD needs to be really precise with how they end up taking this fight, because if there's even a little bit of a miscommunication or anything, that can make it basically impossible to push through this. So we're going to be seeing a huge boot from Pumpkin, getting the Malga come out, but unfortunately, the Lucio out of UC Red is going to come back, and he's going to be able to find a boop onto Musi. Jaquizas going to fall, and that's going to be another fight. Speed is going to be able to find one as he goes right back to spawn, but it's just not going to be enough. UC Red will have plenty of time to regroup.
Yeah, Jaquizas there maybe getting a little bit overzealous with that Reaper ult. Even though Moose had died, he decided to still use it, and it didn't really amount to much. But now we're going to see that Reaper ult coming back from Cincinnati side, but Terps had 4 ultimates on the board. Being able to force out that Reaper shift is absolutely huge, and they're going to locate him and take him out before he can use the ult. That's absolutely massive. Both Kiriko ults come out, and UMD will get the flip onto the point. And honestly, the Reaper pick is really all they need, because now they can send U Cincinnati towards the hills, just running, trying to live with their lives, and that's really all you need. Take out one player with that cage fight. Amazing stuff on UMD's side, knowing that the Reaper had the ult, and knowing that they had to be the first one to go down in the fight.
Yeah, and absolutely. And now they were able to build up that Lucio beat. So since they were able to do that in that fight, the Reaper ultimate is not that dangerous because we can just see the beat come out from Pumpkin. But speaking of Lucio beats, both teams are going to be dropping them. The cage fight also comes out from UC, and they're going to be able to find both supports. As Infectious goes down, that's going to be the fight. That's going to be most likely a fight over for Terps Esports, and they're going to have they're gonna have another about 40 seconds to get that last flip.
Yeah, both Moosey and Pumpkin getting stuck in the cage fight. Not what you want to see, especially with both supports. That's your bread and butter right there. But Cincinnati here pushing up pretty far without their Sojourn. UMD might be able to take advantage of this.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming out from Speed on that off angle. Not quite going to be able to find anybody, but Infectious is falling very low. Definitely going to need to make sure he's topped off. But you got to keep your eye on Jaquizis here. If he's able to find a good Death Blossom, that could be the fight over immediately.
Rohan gonna pop that Sojourn ult, but it's not gonna find anything. But Cincinnati's gonna take this as an opportunity to just run in, and they are gonna take out Infectious. Jaquizis on this flank, solo ulting the Sojourn. That honestly might be all you need, but he will fall. But Moose answers back with a kill onto the opposing Reaper, and Speep taking out the Lucio. Oh, Pumpkin's gonna get a touch, and the Kiriko ult is gonna come out from Moose, and now it's just Pumpkin here, desperately trying to stall at the point, and the Kiriko on Cincinnati's side will take out Pumpkin, but Infectious and Jaquizis on the Tracer just desperately trying to get anything. Jaquizis will fall, the cage fight comes out, and it's just not looking good outside of UMD. Speed popping the overclock, but the beat comes out and he gets taken out.
And that's going to be the game.
Oh, it's devastating. Oh.
Wow. UMD looking like they're using every single one of the monkey balls that they have on hand. Miraculous touches over and over again. I don't know how they kept that last fight alive for so long, but unfortunately, as that beat comes out, that's basically going to seal it. And we're going to be seeing a play of the game from the enemy Lucio. A beautiful boop, able to find only Moosey, but as well being able to gun down Jaquizis through that blossom. Yeah. A great play from that Lucio.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't really know where it went wrong. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot happening. Yeah. I'm not too sure what they could have done better. What Cincinnati did well. Obviously, they played really, really quick. Like they were just like they gave UMD really no time to like sit back and take a breath. Like they were just on them, constantly fighting. Yeah, and I mean. Maybe it's just ult usage. Maybe it's just getting more value out of the cage fight. I don't know what it is, but
no, that's the trouble with these Malga plus low healing team comps. I mean, we have only Lucio plus Kiriko, so really not that much healing going around. That's why you need the Malga and the Reaper who have their own self healing. But even still, I mean, these fights are just so messy with all of the speed boost modifiers and all of the damage and all of the healing that the players can do for themselves as well.
The Maga shift.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
Yeah, 2 players with lifesteal is a crazy thing, and so there's just so much going on that it's hard to identify what's a mistake and what's like a clever, a counterplay. So
Maga just feels totally unkillable, especially with that Kiriko and the cleanse and the shift and the Lucio amp heals and the Lucio beat and the cage fight and the what have you. It's just. Like you have to force absolutely everything out in order to kill this Maga, and it's just so hard. And maybe it's a cohesive thing, maybe it's a comms thing, but UMD's gotta figure something out in order to go into this next match.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the state of this meta, unless we get like. I'm trying to think about what map would benefit Ramatra or something that UMD has been so comfortable with. But this is just a rough meta to be playing anything that's not Melga because he's just so dominant.
Yeah, he really just stat checks every other tank, and it honestly makes me mad. Like, come on now, Blizzard, what are you doing?
They introduced him, he was busted on release, and then they nerfed him into the ground, and everybody was happy. People were cheering in the streets, and then I don't know what happened. They just forgot. And here we are again.
Look, Blizzard does these things under the guise of balance, and then they end up just breaking things further, and it's just why?
Yeah, they really like doing this thing. They've done it with Orisa a couple of times, and then they did it with Malga again, where they take a hero that nobody really likes playing.
Yeah.
and then just giving them little buffs, just trying to see, it's like a game of Jenga. How many blocks can we remove? How many blocks of balance can we remove before this character dominates and everybody has to play it every single game? You know, these and you gotta feel a little bit bad for these players. I mean, they're probably scrimming Malga like 2 hours a day, every day on top of these matches. And
it's boring.
Yeah. No,
It's
really
really boring.
it gets old quick. So, you know, fingers crossed that you know, in this coming season, we get some better balance. Bring Ryan back, come on, do it. But yeah, point being, we're probably going to be seeing a lot more Malga in these upcoming games. So UMD needs to figure out what's specifically going wrong and how they need to fix it.
Yeah, personally, I'm rooting for maybe a more long-range map like Circuit Royale, Havana, because we're going to Escort next. So Havana. That's Escort, yeah. Havana, Rialto, anything that Speed can play Widow on, that's what I'm hoping for. But we will not know until the game starts, and we're going to cut to a little bit of a break, but we will see you guys after, and we'll find out what map we are on.
See you there.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural race. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And welcome back. We're going to be hopping into this next game any second now. And unfortunately, so after that unfortunate loss on round one, fortunately, this is definitely what UMD needs. Something a map that isn't as Malga dependent, something that allows them to play into the range, and that's what these escort maps are really good at.
Yeah. Yeah, specifically, like I said earlier, Circuit Royale, Havana, Rialto, Junkertown, maybe.
I mean, it feels like that's what these escort maps are made for. Is their range. So, definitely excited to see maybe even some speed Widowmaker. Oof. I'm sure that if you're able to, if you let him get that momentum on Widowmaker, it can be over. And here it is, Circuit Royale.
I was right.
We're gonna be seeing a Widowmaker out of speed almost certainly. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love. Okay. Well, I hate playing against Widowmaker.
Yeah.
She's by far one of the most annoying characters if the Widowmaker is good. Now, that being said, I love watching Speep Widowmaker
Yeah.
because it's so annoying.
Yeah. No, the problem is, if you're playing against a Widowmaker, you can't peek anything. But if you're watching a Widowmaker, they can't peek anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's fine so long as I'm not playing against it,
Yeah. So
and that's just player privilege or caster privilege, I guess.
yeah, we don't. That's the nice thing about being in the booth. We don't have to play against Widow ever,
And that's why I stopped solo queuing. Because
and that's why I am sad when I solo queue.
oh, well. But yeah, we are going to see that Speep Widowmaker. Jaquise is on the Hanzo, and this is something we have talked about in previous streams. But Jaquise and Speep have this like unspoken synergy. I'm not too sure if it's like spoken or synergetic or whatever. But they have a synergy where, if you'll notice, Speep will take a peek, but he only will because of Jaquise's Sonic arrows. And because he's able to locate in Widow. Yep, see, back right, Sonic arrow, literally almost immediately. Now Speed knows where the other Widow is, and is able to take these 1v1s with more information than perhaps Cincinnati Red's Widowmaker, who is paired up with a Genji. So, just the synergy here, just obviously really good. And yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Widowmaker right there when you're playing against him. I mean, Moose, you could see C3 was actively backing up off the ledge. It was just a second too late, and that meant that his head disappeared. And that's what happens when you play against Widow. You have to be perfect, or you have to hope that their Widowmaker makes a mistake.
Oh.
And yet again, we see it. Speep unfortunately just misses the jump a little bit, and Rohan able to punish it immediately. Gets a pick onto Speep, gets a pick onto Tony, and it looks like UC Red is just going to be able to get this first cap for free.
That was such a nasty shot by Rohan. I'm a little bit disgusted. I feel like I need a shower after that. But like, oh, and Speed answers back. It's possible for a recontest here. Moose and Jaquise is just desperately trying to get onto the cart, but unfortunately, no, we're not going to see anything there. And you know, that's actually the first time I've seen Terps like not hold on that play.
Yeah. No, that's actually a great. Like, I'm happy you brought that up. Normally, when they have Tony playing super far up, he gets cover on one of the cars earlier up, and they position themselves in such a way where they almost always. I've never seen them not get a second fight on that thing, but unfortunately, Rohan is just picking off these UMD players, and it's just forcing UMD to give up a lot of space, only for them to end up losing the fight anyway. So, if I'm UMD, I want to start thinking about you know, either a full regroup or just committing hard to a fight, because at this rate, if they lose another fight, they just need to lose one more for UC Red to get this cap.
Yeah, and Speep gonna answer. Jaquise's will go down, but Speep answering back a kill. Gonna get lifted into the Gravitic Flux, and there's a lot of trades coming out, but Tony, no, his Gravitic Flux will get canceled by the enemy Sigma, but you know, this is still doable. He's gonna hide in this little hut thing, taking a ton of damage from that Zen, but he's still alive. He's got the hands, but the window's gonna come out. Moose, what an amazing Transcend is there to save his tank, and now UMD might just get a little bit of stability, and Jaquise is just going to fall through the window once again. And that's really, really unlucky. Dragon Blade is going to get drawn without... Yeah, and Tony, C3 going to fall to the Blade, and ooh, Speep is going to find the enemy Widow, but, I mean, what else can you really do? He's going to fall, and... Oh,
unfortunately, the Widow nerfs, or... Well, it was a general HP buff,
yeah.
But as far as Widow is concerned, that's definitely a nerf from her, losing a lot of her one-shot capability. So
was it just not fully charged? I'm actually
yeah, it
really
was not
confused.
Fully charged.
Wow.
It was like 70, 80 charge or something, which is not a one-shot anymore.
Mad.
So UMD. This is the first time I've seen them pushed all the way to the third point in a long, long time. So we're going to see what kind of shots they have. Setting up that double sniper on the high ground can be very deadly, and it's also very hard for UC to try to fight them on this, especially because Tony is up there in their face. But we see the Zen coming out all the way on the long flank. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find anybody, either of these healers. Immortality fields coming up from both teams, and beautiful shot from Jaquise, just waiting. And he's going to be able to find the Widow. Zen also 1 HP, not quite able to find him, but he's chasing it down. Speed from the high ground with the 360. No scope, able to find that Zenyatta.
No scope is crazy. And Speep there, you know, let's talk about it, because he's playing so aggressively, but the thing that I want to talk about is him looking at the ground. That actually stopped the Widow's headshot by hiding his head hitbox. And so he's going to live, and now Cincinnati doesn't have the pressure of having the only Widow on the map, and UMD can now finally take this sort of aggressive positioning that they're just known for taking. Out comes the Gravitic Flux, going to hide behind the shield, not getting canceled today. And the enemy Sigma will fall through the Transcendence. That is a great pick coming out from Tony, and
you can tell Sweep's a little happy about getting that kill through the Transcendence. Of course, you know, they use that Transcendence for the sole purpose of keeping that that Sigma alive. But since you had just used his grasp and he had the Discord on him, it's just not possible to keep him up to so much damage. So he ended up falling anyway. Unfortunately, a beautiful shot from Rohan on that enemy Widowmaker. Going to be able to find Moose on that Zenyatta. And UMD forced to back up a little bit.
These mind games are hurting my head. Out comes the Transcendence and the Gravitic Flux, but it will get canceled because he's just going to fall in the middle of it. Rohan getting answered back with a kill on Jakizis, but honestly, losing your tank is perhaps... Okay, as I said, losing your tank is perhaps more detrimental than losing a DPS, and now that Tony falls to the window, it's desperation now for UMD. They're just going to commit onto the cart, die, just get a reset, and now with 2.5 minutes left in the time bank, UMD needs kind of a miracle here to come back. UC Red is going to have that Dragon Blade in the ult bank, and it's not looking counterable as Musi switches off of the Zenyatta onto the Brig.
Yeah, you can see that UC Red has swapped almost entirely into basically a full dive comp. Only that Zen and the Baptiste remain. So UMD countered with an anti-dive comp, using that Brig, using that Soldier, using that that Tracer as well, and we're going to be seeing that UMD is able to just burn through that Winston super quickly. Speed on that Tracer, able to counter that Zenyatta a little bit, forcing him to be so low, and also keeping making sure that all of that Baptiste all of his focus on just that Zenyatta, and Zenyatta's gonna fall through that anyway. So
I just want to point out that was a crazy play by C3. Both him and Tony surviving that dive with the Dragon Blade and the Winston in his face is crazy. You do not see that a lot, especially with Baptiste and his limited mobility, and definitely something to do with Musi's Brig just kind of sitting in the back and packing, sending the health packs to C3's Baptiste, and definitely this backline, they know what they're doing, and now with a minute left in the time bank, we're going to see some ults on UMD side, and I feel like we might finally see a bit of, I feel like I can take a bit of a breath from what's been going on, and the copy's going to come out prematurely because of the pressure, and here comes the Flux. It's not going to get canceled, but the Transcendence will counter it, but that's a good ult to force out, especially with Jakizis's, perhaps, visor coming out soon. Sorry, I'm losing my ability to speak here. Jakizis is going to take down that Tracer, and that's going to stall out this push, but C3 falls, and here comes the visor, just putting pressure on everybody on Cincinnati's side. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't speak.
No, I want to point out as well that as that visor came out, not only did it have a bunch of offensive pressure, but it also allowed Moose, who was getting dove by the Winston. Oh, beautiful window. Speed getting a one clip, though. You know, a little bit of a performance enhancing ultimates on his side, going to be able to aid him. But you know, a little bit of disrespect coming out anyway, as I'm sure he was not necessarily expecting that window on that fight. We're seeing a lot of ultimates come out from UC Red as overtime has started, but because of the pulse bomb coming out from Speed, it's going to force that Winston to play defensively and just get heals, even though he's in that primal. Speed going for a flank, not quite going to be able to find anybody, and UC Red collapses on him instantaneously, and Terps Esports are going to be losing the cap, but they were able to get it down to 0 seconds, so if you're going to get full pushed, there's no better way to have it happen.
That's actually heartbreaking. They were up by 2 in that last fight, and Cincinnati just somehow clawed their way back into that fight. Definitely with that Winston ult and the Kiriko ult both coming out at the same time, and maybe it's a bit of overzealousness, maybe it's a bit of like overestimating your own abilities, but UMD just falling there in that last fight, and I honestly thought I was going to see, or not a full hold, but a third point hold. A little bit sad that I don't, but I know UMD is definitely strong in this attack, and they can definitely outdo this. So.
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting that even though like it's intuitive that these snipers, they want to play defensively because they have to hold their angles and it's kind of hard to push. There is a little bit of an attacking advantage as well because you only need one pick to win the fight. If you're able to get the pick to open up the fight, you have a huge advantage. So there's almost a little bit of of a peeker's advantage in this playstyle. So Terps Esports absolutely can have a dominant offense to match UC Reds.
For sure. I mean, Speep, the time bank may have looked like he was getting a bit destroyed, but no, he was answering back with kills on that Widow. I believe he found the Genji at one point. I think he found the Zen at one point. Like, this is totally even and doable. And even and doable. That just sounds like I'm really trying to sell it to you guys, but I swear it is. And we're gonna see the same thing on Cincinnati side, but we are gonna see this Sojourn instead of a Hanzo on the attack. And definitely an interesting swap, and look at this pressure on the Sigma. He's trapped, and Rohan wins the Widow 1v1. Unfortunate, but you know what? Your attacker side, you have a better spawn. It's kind of whatever. And,
yeah.
Ooh.
And you can see how nervous Moose is. He's just trying to push the cart, but he's forced to hide all the way behind that car. And
wow.
Unfortunately, Eric missing his dash a little bit goes right into the wall, and he's not going to be able to escape as Terps Esports are pushing forward. And if they're able to get a pick now, this could snowball its way into a full point capture. Unfortunately, they are forced to back up and play this corner. It is going to be a full fight as UC is able to regroup.
Yep, Speep's got his eyes on that Widowmaker. The Widow 1v1 it's just so important in this match, and I don't like it, but it's really important that the lamp is actually going to come out early here. So much pressure coming out from UMD Zen and Sigma combo, and that lamp is really important to have in your back pocket just in case one of your players falls low. And really nothing, I don't want to say nothing is happening because things are happening, but it feels like nothing is happening.
Well, yeah, the problem is that nobody can play that aggressively because if you push a little bit too far out, like Moose does, you're just gonna fall. You've got a Widowmaker, you've got two high damage support characters in that Baptiste and that Zenyatta, and the Zen of course isn't making it any easier. Both Sigmas are just playing so that they might live behind their shield, and we're seeing the wall come out. So UMD again just forced to back up, and that's the problem, is that so much is happening. There's so much damage coming out that everybody is forced to play defensively, and nobody really ends up making any ground.
Yeah,
so.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that window is going to come out on UMD side, but the window coming out from Cincinnati earlier may give UMD a bit of an edge in this fight, and we're going to see the Sigma ult come out. It is going to get countered by the Transcendence, but that's really important. Those ults getting forced, but Moose is going to fall to Rohan's Widow, and this Widow's just doing so much work, and it's really heartbreaking. We're going to see Jaquizas try to bring this fight back with the overclock. Not going to find anything, and out comes the enemy Sigma Flux. Jaquizas gonna get focused down, same with Tony, and back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we're only seeing, one, maybe two more fights coming out. Speed with another no-scope, able to find Genji, but as Terps Esports are forced to regroup, they're probably not going to be able to get that much of an advantage. Speed going for a very cheeky shot, but unfortunately is going to fall for that. And with that setback, I think that Terps Esports is down to officially their last fight. They need to win this fight now. They have Transcendence. They have that Widow ultimate, which normally isn't that impactful, but could be absolutely game-changing, as Rohan has been dominating UMD just a little bit so far in this matchup. So Terps Esports again, especially with Tony playing that card, just waiting, and there it is. Speep with that Widowmaker ultimate, just like I said, is going to be able to find Rohan, and with that momentum, they only it's really a bunch of stragglers. They need to be careful, but now with the Transcendence coming out, it's going to be very hard for any players to fall. They just need to find this Sigma on cards. He's going to block the rock, but no abilities left, and he's just going to fall. And now UC Red is just jumping on the point, trying to see if they can waste any time. Terps Esports are going to get the cap, and we're going to see at least another couple fights.
Bit of a heart attack moment, but like we've said, that Widowmaker 1v1 is just so important, and it really does kind of suck to play under this kind of pressure of a Widow, but it's the game, unfortunately. And we're actually going to see Jaquiza swapping onto this Tracer. I actually really do like this pick, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in that last fight, Jaquizis just triple blinked onto the back line, and yeah, he may have died, but he distracted them, and that's what's important because he drew their focus away from the Sigma. And that was really the only reason that he was able to die, and Tony getting the first pick here onto the Genji. Competing windows coming out. Both Sigmas are going to put their hands up, say no to all that damage, and nothing's really going to come out of it.
Yeah, but Terps Esports were given the opportunity to just fully regroup after that window came down, and Tony going to be able to find the enemy Sigma through the Transcendence yet again. With no tank, it's going to be very hard for UC to lock into that Sigma from Tony, and so they need to be able to just trade cover. Unfortunately, Tony just too many angles that he has to cover. Speed's shot's gonna be.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, that's just so unfortunate. Seeing that shot being covered by the lamppost. Jaquizis gonna get the Zenyatta, but loses. Going down too.
Y'all cut the clip. Cut the cameras.
Anyway,
yeah, cut the cameras. Yeah, don't look at that.
We don't need to. But Jaquizis is going to swapping onto that Genji, and I like this pick. Just had a little bit more survivability and a presence in the front line, which is really what you need just against this Widowmaker. I mean, the Tracer is nice with the one-clip potential, but if you go in and you use all your blanks and you don't get the Widowmaker, then you just first recall and wait for your blanks to come back. Genji with the dash, and Sigma's just gonna get burned right through. Unfortunately, UC Red, they're gonna be able to touch, but they're not really gonna be able to do anything with it. And Terps Esports are going to get the second cap. They have 2 minutes now to cap if they want an advantage over UC Red, but even if we go down to, I would be very surprised if we don't go down to 0-0. It's very easy there's a lot of corners and just cheeky angles, so it's very easy for the defense to just play time and at the very least run the clock down to 0.
Yeah, even a second's advantage can work wonders. Pardon my French there. I'm so sorry. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, and we're gonna see some ults coming out on both sides. Moose going to have that Transcendence, and Cincinnati support's coming up on their ults too, and C3 almost to that window, which
Speed, a beautiful shot. It looks like a mirror of what we saw earlier in this match when I believe Rohan had hit a very similar shot. And speaking of Rohan, going to be falling to that Widowmaker duel, and UMD is pushing up. They look like they absolutely want this time advantage. They're nearing just a couple of meters from this exit, and there's still a minute on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, and look at the ult banks. I mean, UC Red giving up their Baptiste window, knowing that they just cannot use it at this point when they're stuffed into their spawn. And here comes the Flux, comboed with the window, just going to be able to take out that Winston instantaneously. And Jaquizis is going to fall, but with the Transcendence coming out and C3 getting aggressive onto this Genji, I'm not too sure. The team's looking very, very split right now. And the Transcendence coming out from Cincinnati, and
Doom coming back, yeah, it's just not going to be able to let Tony back up and regroup with the team. So with 30 seconds,
C3
with only 30 seconds ticking down now, and the Immortality field comes out, C3 is going to fall.
Oh no!
I was worried that UMD isn't going to get any time left, but it looks like they might not even be able to regroup. A beautiful shot from Speedfield. That's the momentum they need. They're going to be able to force UC to back up all the way back to the carts, and so they should be able to get a full regroup UMD. So that is the opening that they needed. Able to get back onto this point with only 10 seconds left on this point. UMD needs to win this fight. They need to win it now if they want even a chance of winning. Jaquizis is not able to find any supports, but able to cut the supports off from that Doomfist and get the KO.
Nice.
Genji also finding that Zenyatta, a beautiful rock coming out from Tony, going to be able to find both supports. And now only this Tracer left. Tracer's going to go down, and UMD is bringing us into overtime.
Gosh. Jaquizis coming up huge there with the Dragon Blade, distracting both supports from the front line, and the Doomfist falls in return. And it's just, oh my gosh, these games are so close. I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack.
I really need to highlight that beautiful blade from Jaquizis.
Cool. This was pretty cool too.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's Speed. He's the man's a living highlight reel. Rohan was mid-jump. I don't know how you hit those shots, but the answer is pretty good, I guess. I wouldn't know.
Oh my god.
No, but I need to talk about Jaquizis' beautiful Dragon Blade. No, it didn't find either of those supports that he was looking at. But what he was able to do is realize that if he pushes out and commits to getting that Zenyatta, yes, maybe he finds one, but he's going to die to the Kiriko anyway. There's just so much damage from that support line. So instead, he just threatens them. He's just standing there saying, if you walk any closer, you're
gonna
gonna
die.
die. Yeah, absolutely right. So instead, just forces both of the supports back, and the Doomfist, not able to get any of that healing, falls.
Yeah, just oh wow. Honestly, I feel like my brain is fried. That's really all I can say. Just wow.
Yeah.
From both teams. Oh my gosh. And you know, is there something to say about the teamwork of Terps Esports too? I mean, Speep wouldn't be doing all this without Tony's shield and C3's healing and Moose's transcendences, which has all been amazing. And we're gonna see Jaquizas instead opt for this Genji on defense now, instead of kind of messing around with the Tracer, or I forgot what he played last defense. But yeah.
Yeah, he was just on that Hanzo, I think, but both teams kind of realized that this game is a little bit just coming down to that Widowmaker duel. So anything that you can do to disrupt that enemy Widowmaker, whether it's Tony with the shields or and there it is. Peep's gonna be able to find the Zenyatta, just like I'm talking about. But unfortunately, that the tank is going to be able to fall as well, and UMD just pushing up now. Even though they don't have speed, that opening pick was, again, all they needed. It's just that one pick that Widowmaker opens up.
And without that Zenyatta, you just lose out on so much damage. And you know, the cart not even crossing the halfway line might be so good here, but I do believe Cincinnati's going to get a last second touch, switching to the Sombra in this Doomfist. Doomfist is going to fall dangerously low. Lamp comes out, but the punch is charged, and he's going to fall before he can get it off. Absolutely perfect plays coming out from Tony. And now it's just up to the remaining players of UMD to take out these stragglers. Genji low on the cart. He is going to get killed up by his supports in the Sombra, being a nuisance in the back line. But Speep with the double tap. He activated his hacks. I've got you. Wait, yeah, I've got you in my sights. And Tony getting one, getting two, about to take out the Doomfist. And they barely get past that first high ground, and that is crucial.
Yeah, that was a perfect hold from UMD. They really could not have asked for anything better. And they're at a position now where, you know, yes, if they get, you know, a pick, God forbid they get a pick, you know, you see their whole team comp is just going to crumble. You know, even if UMD gets a pick and loses the fight, it's so far away the enemy spawned it. That's probably all UMD needs, but even more than that, I mean, you saw in this game that, you know, just the pressure that all of the damage these teams have forced Tony to back up way past the cart. He was only able to push back up and hold the cart where it was because of Speep's, you know, headshot getting that pick onto the Zenyatta. So if UMD is able to exert that pressure without losing that team member, UC Red is probably going to have to give up a lot of resources and most likely some players to hold the cart that far up.
Yeah, and it's just, oh my gosh. Now with the cart not even having to go past the first choke point, that is so like amazing, because now Terps get at least 2 fights.
Yeah.
To win one fight without. They at least get 2 fights to win one fight instead of having like 3 or 2 and having to win both consecutively. This is huge. And going into this attack, we're just going to see the same thing on both sides. Actually, just kidding. We're going to see Speep's Sojourn rather than a Widow. Interesting, but
yeah, and like I said, they don't need to get a pick anymore. All they need to do is get that pressure onto that Sigma and force him down. They're just going to run him down.
Here it comes!
Catching UC Red off guard. Unfortunately, not quite able to find that Sigma as the Immortality Field comes down. But so many abilities had to be used to keep up UC Red that if UMD just re-engages, that could be enough. It's getting him a flag. Gets him a flag. Able to find 2. Is he going to be able to find the 3rd? It doesn't matter. UC Red is crumbling. The Sigma is just 1 HP. He's going to fall as soon as that shield goes. And there he goes. Musi able to find that Genji, and that's going to be it.
Oh my gosh. Jaquiza with the 3K coming up absolutely huge.
You don't need a Widowmaker.
Oh my gosh, you don't need a Widowmaker.
Just use the Widowmaker against themselves. Jaquiza is getting a beautiful flick. You see how happy he is.
Oh my gosh.
Looks like we are going to be seeing a sweep. Maybe you do need a Widowmaker. Beautiful shot.
I mean, look, that's Jaquiza's right there in the kill feed. I'm pointing at it.
No, you don't need a Widowmaker.
Okay,
you just need Jaquiza's, but going to find Eric again, and 360 no scope.
Oh, wait, it was the 360.
The 360 no scope, in fact, yeah. Yeah, there it is. That's going to go in Sweep's highlight reel.
Oh my gosh.
You'll be seeing that. Wow, what an exciting match.
I need to take a breath after that.
Yeah,
one.
no, for sure. We're gonna catch our breath, but we'll see you just after this in Game 3.
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together. Everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
And welcome back. We're here for Game 3. We're going to be getting into that any second now. And here we are on Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. I don't like Flashpoint. Personally, I hate this game mode. But you know what? Maybe Premier likes it better. And you know what? That's totally fine. Because Premier's bread and butter does seem to be Brawl. And honestly, Zarya? Not too bad.
Yeah, no, not too bad. The only problem is they are coming in against that Winston. So it's going to be, that does counter, Zarya a little bit. Those bubbles are one of the few heroes that are able to fully shut down, Zarya's, Zarya's charge. So we're going to be getting into that any second now. Sorry for a little bit of technical difficulties. But we'll be back any second now. And
I can hear things happening.
Yeah.
I think I heard an immortality field. I hear echo. Okay, here we go. Now we're back into it.
Yeah, and oh my, Speed able to find, as soon as we got back, we came out just in the nick of time. Speed able to find that echo, and that's going to be a huge advantage for Terps Esports. They're going to be able to get the cap any second now. There it is, and UC are still fighting on this point. I mean, it's their last breaths, but they're still alive, which means that they can still die and be sent back to spawn. So UMD in a great position, able to find that Kiriko and the Winston just forced to jump off the map and go and send himself back to spawn. And look at that. UC Red is still grouping up and respawning, and Terps Esports are already at 35%.
You can just tell the momentum right now. We can hear these players through the door. They are so animated and so passionate right now. Like, the comms are just on point. And I think Jakizis, Mans is going on a rampage from one game to the next, getting at least a 3K in that last fight. And it's just, it's amazing. You love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Speep yet again, another beautiful shot. Unfortunately, Jakizis is going to fall, but it doesn't matter. I don't think it's Jakizis on the rampage. Just Speep able to find 2 in this fight already, and he isn't slowing down at all, being the front line almost, as he's able to get bubbled by that Zarya, as well as having that combat roll to reduce damage or get out in a pinch. Tracer very low, able to fall out, just overstayed their welcome by a second, and you can see that's already overtime for Terps Esports. They're not quite going to be able to find the Lucio. He finally goes down, but Speed trapped in the corner. The immortality field comes down just in the nick of time. Unfortunately, Lucio is going to be able to steal that bubble, but it doesn't matter as Terps Esports get the team kill. Speed saying, "Look at me, I'm running this game."
Oh. Well, you know what? It's not like that ult's like useful anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a tactical reload, and it looks like so far 6 shots is all Speed has been needing.
You
So
can tell these boys are absolutely feeling themselves, and the energy in the studio is just wild tonight, and I'm feeling real good right now. But that's not to say that opposition might not be coming their way. Cincinnati on their way to some ults and taking space with this Winston. The window is going to come out and just force everyone to play out of LOS. Winston, oh my gosh, he's going across. He's going across the point, but he will fall anyway. You know what? Oh, the stick going to come out, kill Speep, but you know what? Speep did damage. Jakizis is just going to clean them up. Like, we talked about Speep and Jakizis' synergy, and you can see it even when they're not on the Widowmaker and the Hanzo. They're just absolutely dominating this match right now.
yeah, no, I'm really glad that you picked it up because, Speep absolutely dominated that first fight, and so you could see how focused UC Red was on just shutting down Speep, but what that means is that Jakizis is able to roam free, so he's able to get, I think it was like a triple kill for that fight, as UMD again up now 35%. Unfortunately, Jakizis is not quite going to be able to be in line of sight with his team, and he's going to fall early in this fight. UMD completely split, and they're all going to fall, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a miscommunication, especially against the dive team like UC Red is playing. Just being out of position just a little bit can mean that it's a free fight even.
Yeah, being split like that, not very good, and they learned the lesson the hard way, but they can definitely come back and learn from it.
Up to 58%, so they only need 1, maybe 2 fights or a little bit of a stall in order to get this fight. And Pumpkin just kiting this Winston a little bit. If they're able to just avoid him and look at some squishies, that could be the end. A beautiful bubble coming out from Tony, just keeping Speed alive. And Ronin is gonna fall. We see a bunch of just an ult coming out from both teams. Nobody's really falling, but UMB's still up, so they're still in the driver's seat. Kiriko using all of her abilities. A stick not quite coming out onto that monkey, but he's so low that he's probably gonna fall anyway. There he goes. Tony picks him up. Tony's gonna fall though. Any second now, so much damage coming out. The stick is not quite coming out. UC Red giving everything they have to find the Zarya. They finally do it, but are UMD going to be able to clutch up anyway? It looks like they just might.
Nice.
Moose beautiful shots on that. On the Sojourn, they were able to get the flip as well. So with this respawn, UC Red definitely only gonna have 1 fight left.
I think we just saw 5 ultimates come out of UC Red.
Yeah,
And not even for a fight win.
yeah. No, they were really close, but Terps Esports just doing a great job of keeping that competitive and just kiting, waiting for those ultimates to run their course. And now with only 3 seconds left, they're gonna need to touch against that window. Monkey forced to run away, but that just means that somebody else has to touch. He's gonna come back, but he's probably gonna just fall for it. Soldier and Wizard gonna fall for the touch, and Terps Esports look like they're primed to just get that shot. Speed a beautiful headshot on that falling Lucio. Jakizis ends up going down, but it doesn't matter. It's overtime. It's gonna finish ticking down. UMD goes up 2-1 on this flashpoint, and Speed just playing a little bit. We can hear in the studio that his teammates aren't too excited about that. They just want to win this game.
Speed, coach said no trolling.
Well, that means no Speed, and we wouldn't want that.
Anyway. But yeah, UC Red, I mean, still, the ult bank is just absolutely broken right now. I'm not too sure I believe in this Winston right now, and, you know, the pulse bomb's gonna whiff, but, like, whatever, yeah? I mean, Moose is just gonna take out the enemy Winston, and, like they're just winning on the front line just because of Tony Zarya and Moose's Baptiste.
Yeah, no, this is what we were talking about in the beginning. UC Red has let Terps Esports activate, and now, you know, game 1 was, I would say, pretty decisively in UC Red's favor. Game 2, you know, was back and forth. Both teams, you know, they found that team comp, but UC now, I mean, they're still switching. You know, it's on the you know, the third point now. We're over halfway through, and they still haven't found what kind of team composition they want. And I mean, we can see how that momentum is affecting them.
Yeah, I mean, the Echo, and at the end of the day, like, what does the Echo do besides really charge Zarya? I mean, Tony almost to that grab. It's going to be absolutely crucial.
Oh, beautiful bump! A beautiful boot from Pumpkin is going to be able to almost certainly win this fight immediately for Terps Esports, and now
he's on a roll.
Look at that ult bait.
Oh my gosh. Bow down to the Lucio King. Frogger who? I don't know who that is, and we're going to get a replay on this boot because it was, oh my gosh. Props to the Observer for hitting this one. I mean, look at that. Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely a beautiful boot from Pumpkin. Like volleyball, just letting them set themselves up, and he's got that spike down. And we're gonna be seeing the Graviton just keeping
both supports in the grab. Both supports in the grab. Clean it up. The Kiriko's not gonna fall. She's gonna drop dangerously low, but she will fall. But Moose falls in response. It's now to the rest of the players to take it out. Speed's gonna fall to the Echo, and Tony's still alive, and in this fight it's possible, but he will fall. But look, it's Pumpkin and Jaquizis 2v2. Tracer versus Lucio on both sides, and Pumpkin's gonna fall. But now Jaquizis, both the cooldowns on both sides coming out, and he's gonna maybe find one, but no.
Unfortunately, doesn't quite get that melee. That Tracer was so low, but not quite gonna be able to find it. UC Red are finally going to be able to get the flip, but they only have that Winston ultimate, which is, you know, 1 second life for one hero compared to. You know, we see the speed Deadeye. We haven't seen that yet. That's the first one that we've seen. So, you know, we'll see. You know, maybe all along he was just giving UC a chance, and you know, he'll just send them all to an early grave and send this map in, send this game into a game 4 situation just like that.
Yeah, we're gonna see that the copy come out first. Copy Zarya, now UMD honestly just should kite it out, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. Winston's gonna come out as well. But here comes the Deadeye. We're finally seeing the Deadeye do its job. And it's gonna go on the Winston, and the Winston's gonna fall on the backline. And now that the Echo's out of the copy, UMD can just stomp forward on this point. They have all the agency, they have all the space. Echo no fly. Lucio just caught out wall riding. Tony will beam him down.
Yeah, and you can see what happens as soon as that tank goes down. You know, we're joking a little bit about we were joking a little bit about that Deadeye, but I mean, it just won the game.
No, that literally just won the game.
It literally won the game. He uses it one time, and it's going to be able to find that monkey, and that's all Terps Esports needs.
You know, I think it's so in. Oh, is this the
Here it
nasty
is.
boop?
I think this
Come
has
on
got to be, yeah,
okay,
a beautiful boop.
Someone clip this for Twitter later, please, because I'm gonna need this. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, we can see Pumpkin just, he gets the boop on the Winston and just dive bombs into the backline onto that Kiriko. And it's just,
yeah,
so disgusting. Like, oh my gosh.
If you need a Lucio, man, that's why he's on this team. He's able to find that. If you had told me going into Servasa that there'd be a boop, I might not have believed you.
Yeah, that's not really a you see boop
yeah,
spot often.
No, there are a couple boop spots, but we didn't even get the good boop point. There's one point that's really good for booping, and that one isn't it.
Oh, you're right. It's the one with like the water
little shrine.
on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So they don't really give those points names, do? Oh, they do actually.
No, they totally do, but nobody cares.
Nobody cares. It's the one with the lakes on both sides.
Yeah, it's just all one. It's all one big map.
Yeah, and the high ground on the left, and whatever. But yeah, just honestly, amazing solo plays coming out here, and then also Speep and Jaquizis just being able to hold down the fort. But also, we can't not talk about Tony Zarya. I mean,
yeah,
it means something to play Zarya and then also stay alive when your team is fighting a Winston and a Tracer and a Lucio dive bombing their backline. Like, you were getting zero support. So for him to just survive for as long as he did and to give his team bubbles, it shows his awareness and his dexterity with his character. And it's so impressive.
Yeah, no, what I want to talk about is, in that last fight, as soon as that monkey went down, I mean, we saw what Tony does in this composition. as soon as that monkey went down, there was nobody who could stop Zarya's full beam. And she just shredded through that Lucio, right through that Echo. And, you know, yeah, we didn't see that all game because there was a monkey. But, you know, what the monkey is forced to do is, instead of be a tank for this team and dive with the rest of his team like he wants to, he's just forced to, you know, make sure that Zarya can't do what she did.
Yeah. And, you know, I think as the crow flies, I'm pretty sure Winston's a counter matchup against Zarya. What counter matchup? I didn't see any of that in this game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really felt like Tony just kind of didn't care.
Yeah, he just kind of walked forward and pew, 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 pew. I mean, obviously it's not how it's more like a pew, but
that doesn't sound as good.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't sound as good.
So
now Speep was the one pew, 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 pewing. I mean, to play Cassidy in these like high octane, close quarters, like messy fights, like it's hard. You need to constantly be flicking your mouse around, trying to kill the Tracer shooting at you, killing the Winston, trying to make sure your bomb connects because that thing's really finicky. Like just great plays all around. I don't really know what else to say.
No, I think I'm glad that you bring up the Cassidy because we haven't seen him be meta in a long, long time. In fact, he was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Until suddenly, you know, just like we were talking about, he was pretty bad until suddenly he's everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know, fortunately, I'm really glad that we do have a Cassidy. He's a very interesting character. One of the few that's, you know, flick based and tracking based simultaneously. So
yeah,
really just a completely different play style than everything else we see.
I think Cassidy is one of the more interesting characters out there. I mean, not to take away from Speepsy, you can play him pretty interesting ways that you can play like close up with Fan the Hammer or far away with like more accuracy based, but it's definitely more of a harder character for sure.
Yeah. No, but it does. I think it was a great counter pick into that monkey as well, and I think that's why we saw, you know, that enemy Winston having such a hard time against Tony on that Zarya. You know, in a vacuum, probably monkey can do very well against Zarya, but if you have, you know, a monkey trying to dive a Zarya who has that Cassidy just standing there next to her saying, "You want to get to her, you have to get through me first."
And then also, I mean, if you time the bomb right, I mean, okay, Winston cooldown jump is like, what, 6 seconds or so?
Yeah.
If you stick the bomb when it's on 1 second, the Winston can't get away, and so he just kind of dies. And it's really sad, unless he has Primal. But even then, you've got Deadeye.
Welcome to
So
yeah, I mean, and even if he has Primal, I mean, you just got an ultimate out for what?
Yeah,
one
for free,
ability
pretty
that you
much.
get out that you get like every 8
Exactly.
seconds or something. So
yeah. Well, we are going to go into this next map. I can hear it in the background. We're going into Esperanza.
yes,
I believe that's how it's pronounced.
yeah,
I'm
something
not
like
too
that.
sure. But the push map could possibly be match point here for Terps Esports, 2-1 against the Cincinnati Red. And I don't really know what to expect here.
Yeah, fortunately for Cincinnati Red, this is a very good Winston map. You know, Suravasa, very tight. It definitely benefits that brawly playstyle that UMD is really, really good at. But you know, with all of these high grounds that we see, you know, throughout the map, this can be a very, very strong Winston map. And we're of course going to be seeing that Winston. I mean, they've been running it all game, so of course as the dive map comes out, we're going to be seeing dive coming out from Cincinnati.
But look at this. I mean, if they continue to run with this, I have a feeling Moose is going to swap off and maybe go Kiriko or Bap. But what does Winston hold in this? Like, what agency does Winston hold against a Reaper and a Cass? I mean, it's going to be absolutely brutal running into this first fight.
Yeah, no, UMG doing a great job, but frankly, it feels like they're just kind of counterpicking UC Red a little bit. They realize that they really need this Winston, and once they shut the Winston down, you know, Zarya can just roam free. So just using, you know, Winston counters plus Zarya, they're going to be able to, just like that. Zarya is going to be able to find that first kill onto that Kiriko. Reaper just running forward, you know, forced to use that Blossom and backing up. But, I mean, you know, Terps Esports off to an early advantage in this game.
Yeah, and you can see the coordination between Tony and Jaquez is just stomping forward. They do not care. They give 0 hex about what you are going to do when you're in their face. They are just... Wow.
No, and I think that this game has been dominated by Tony and Jaquez so far. Jakees is just, up in your face, and you kind of have to back up. But if you do, I mean, you're just giving up free space. But if you stay in, Tony's gonna get a kill, and that's what's happened every game. Is we see just Jakees is going in. He's got that shift to get out if he needs to, so he can play almost as risky as he wants. He's gonna go in with his shift, able to find one. Not quite gonna be able to find the second, but Tony's in there. He's going to be able to find the Winston. Is he gonna be able to find anybody else? Frankly, it doesn't really matter. Beautiful tracking. Not quite gonna be able to get the Kiriko, but she comes back.
What? Why would you do that?
Like a boomerang, and she's just gonna fall.
I'm assuming she's getting pressured to the side, and that's why she's teleporting back in. But again, just look at this. Tony, in the heat of the battle, just is able to track on all, like every single threat around him, and it's just something to say about Tony. And now look, they're gonna have this Death Blossom and Grav combo, and you see Red finally gonna make the swap onto the Ramattra, but will it be enough against this ultimate advantage? Do not know, but we will see how it goes.
Yeah, again, they're just trying to pick characters that are good against Zarya, quote unquote. But I mean, still, Reaper does very well against Ramattra. We're gonna see the Death Blossom come out and basically finds Lucio. Tony gonna be able to get that last kill, but Tony also, Jakees is also going to find that that Sojourn and that Ramattra. And you see Red forced to go back to the spawn room again. Another team kill.
They didn't even use Grav.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, Speed.
Okay. Speed getting a little bit creative now, but
it's a zoning ult, guys.
yeah, no, I mean they can't leave spawn technically. They can't leave spawn. He gets now he's emoting. Okay, I don't have an explanation for that.
Speed, wake
Speed
up.
falling very low, and
Here
even though he
comes the
doesn't
grab.
fall, a lot of abilities are forcing him out from UMD because of the trolling that he did. Fortunately for UMD, they're gonna be able to just hide behind that wall. Jakees is going to go down though, but at this point, UMD's got so much momentum that they should be able to keep pushing. They're probably not going to be able to get this cap though, just because of that. And yeah, this is we don't need to see that again.
We don't need to see that again.
Best case scenario is Speed's coach talks to them, but that can be a conversation for tomorrow. We're seeing another fight come out now. Pumpkin is going to be able to find that Tracer. A beautiful bubble coming out from Tony, keeping Pumpkin, I believe, alive through that pulse bomb. And now UMD's just dumping their ultimates. They can just walk up. A 360 coming out from Speed, and he's gonna go down to the Soldier. And honestly, I think a little bit deserved, but it might not even matter. As they're gonna be able to find the Ramattra. They're gonna be able to find the Tracer. Lucio comes in for the touch, but he's gonna fall. And Terps Esports winning that game in
full completion
4 minutes.
On Esperanza?
4 minutes, and the game's over. Terps Esports have another match, in just a couple of minutes. So I think they just wanted to get this game over quick, but that's gonna be it. And you can see Pumpkin,
Hi, Pumpkin.
2 thumbs up. I couldn't have said it better myself. Tony.
Oh my gosh, that was dominant. I mean, not a single ounce of resistance from Cincinnati, and you just gotta wonder what
I love
happened.
watching this. The Kiriko gets away. Haha, psych, as she falls again.
What a crazy game.
Yeah.
I am. My gosh, throw my heart against the wall, why don't you? I mean, jeez.
Yeah, I know. It was such a back and forth game. I mean, even that Suravasa game felt close.
Yeah.
Even though UMD won, I think it might have been 3-0 on the score. I mean, UC did at least win a fight on each one of those points, and they looked like they were in it the whole game, and then what happened?
They fell apart like Legos.
Yeah.
Look, my only analysis, once UMD warms up,
Yeah.
they can do
I
anything.
mean, yeah. No, you had the prediction the whole time.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But good thing that they're warmed up now, because we do have a second match coming up. And
Yeah.
now that we've won the NEC semifinals and are going on to the finals, now let's go to ABC Collegiate. Not going to be a best of 5 this time. Going to be a best of 3. So a bit of a shorter game, but
Yeah,
we are going to see...
probably just a little bit of a victory lap.
Yeah,
for
a bit of a
these.
victory lap. We're going against the University of Houston. So yeah,
We'll
hope
see.
you guys
we'll
are ready
see
for
you
that.
Just in a little bit. We're going to take a short ad break, but make sure you check back in. We've got a whole nother series just after this.
Yep, see you guys then.
Whether you're a new publisher or app developer, or if you've been around the block for a little while and you have your own ad ops team, Playwire is developing the solutions and products that are perfect for you.
RAMP stands for Revenue Amplification management platform. But really what it does, it helps you make more money per user, and it helps you simplify your business so you can just focus on what matters, which is making great content. So if you think about today's ecosystem, there's so many different pieces to run an ad tech platform.
RAMP brings the entire ad ecosystem under one umbrella. Everything from centralized ad unit creation to piping in those demand sources. We layer on a DMP, and we take care of your data privacy and consent management for you as well. We tie all of that together with robust analytics.
Playwire really offers our publishers two different models at this point. We've got the full service model where we come in and we cover everything. And there's now our new self-service model where you can come in and you can say, I just want Playwire to take care of some of these things for me. Another thing that we've had a lot of partners do with us in the past is say, hey, maybe I have a few of my own direct campaigns that I want to run. Or I've even got an ad ops team. I don't know whether Playwire is right for me because those people are doing a good job. We don't want to displace them in favor of Playwire. That's fine. We're happy to bring all the technology that we've put out there, but use it with your own team and with your own ad stack. What does that mean for you as a publisher? It means that you get to leverage all of the revenue maximization technology that we've got in place and still have all of the capabilities and all of the demand partners that you're used to working with. You can have your cake and you can eat it too.
We actually do things at such scale, right? We're serving 70 billion ads a month at this point. That's a huge benefit that we're passing on to the publisher.
Revenue intelligence marries human intelligence with machine intelligence. At its core, revenue intelligence is about taking all the demand that you're already getting and getting more out of it. We want to make it so that you're getting 10% more from your ad inventory without even worrying about who the advertisers are. It's based on us going in and understanding what are the places where we can put additional price pressure on. There's all sorts of situations like this where you can eke out little benefits and add them all up. You're quickly at a point where you are getting that 10, 15, 20% uplift on your revenue without having made any changes in who's actually doing the advertising.
Our DMP is built from the ground up to work in a cookieless environment and not use cookies to basically store, user behavior or anything like that. And it's built right into the RAMP platform.
We can tell advertisers information about user interests, but also user behavior, do it on a massive scale, do it in that real-time way that we also do with our revenue intelligence capabilities, and also do it in a way where we can leverage the size of our network. We're trying to do everything that we can to show you every step of the process of getting an ad onto the page. That means that we've got much richer charts and graphs, a lot more ability to look at a piece of information and drill down on it. Answer that question that maybe you didn't even know that you were asking. We're trying to make you think differently, actually, about your business, about how your business relates to advertising, and reveal all of that through the platform. So analytics are one big piece of it.
It's a constant evolution. We're constantly updating our technology. We're constantly creating the future.
It's a real challenge for publishers these days to navigate advertising technology. It seems like every 6 months there's some new challenge. And at Playwire, we make sure that we take all of that pain away from our publishers so they can focus on their core business of publishing.
Terp Adventures. Take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body. Feed your mind. Feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here, your soul lifts up. Here, you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Whether you're a new publisher or app developer, or if you've been around the block for a little while and you have your own ad ops team, Playwire is developing the solutions and products that are perfect for you.
Ramp stands for Revenue Amplification Management Platform. But really what it does, it helps you make more money per user, and it helps you simplify your business so you can just focus on what matters, which is making great content. So if you think about today's ecosystem, there's so many different pieces to run an ad tech platform.
RAMP brings the entire ad ecosystem under one umbrella. Everything from centralized ad unit creation to piping in those demand sources. We layer on a DMP, and we take care of your data privacy and consent management for you as well. We tie all of that together with robust analytics.
Playwire really offers our publishers two different models at this point. We've got the full service model where we come in and we cover everything. And there's now our new self-service model where you can come in and you can say, I just want Playwire to take care of some of these things for me. Another thing that we've had a lot of partners do with us in the past is say, hey, maybe I have a few of my own direct campaigns that I want to run. Or I've even got an ad ops team. I don't know whether Playwire is right for me because those people are doing a good job. We don't want to displace them in favor of Playwire. That's fine. We're happy to bring all the technology that we've put out there, but use it with your own team and with your own ad stack. What does that mean for you as a publisher? It means that you get to leverage all of the revenue maximization technology that we've got in place and still have all of the capabilities and all of the demand partners that you're used to working with. You can have your cake and you can eat it too.
We actually do things at such scale, right? We're serving 70 billion ads a month at this point. That's a huge benefit that we're passing on to the publisher.
Revenue intelligence marries human intelligence with machine intelligence. At its core, revenue intelligence is about taking all the demand that you're already getting and getting more out of it. We want to make it so that you're getting 10% more from your ad inventory without even worrying about who the advertisers are. It's based on us going in and understanding what are the places where we can put additional price pressure on it. There's all sorts of situations like this where you can eke out little benefits and add them all up. You're quickly at a point where you are getting that 10, 15, 20% uplift on your revenue without having made any changes in who's actually doing the advertising.
Our DMP is built from the ground up to work in a cookieless environment and not use cookies to basically store, user behavior or anything like that. And it's built right into the RAMP platform.
We can tell advertisers information about user interests, but also user behavior, do it on a massive scale, do it in that real-time way that we also do with our revenue intelligence capabilities, and also do it in a way where we can leverage the size of our network. We're trying to do everything that we can to show you every step of the process of getting an ad onto the page. That means that we've got much richer charts and graphs, a lot more ability to look at a piece of information and drill down on it. Answer that question that maybe you didn't even know that you were asking. We're trying to make you think differently, actually, about your business, about how your business relates to advertising, and reveal all of that through the platform. So analytics are one big piece of it.
It's a constant evolution. We're constantly updating our technology. We're constantly creating the future.
It's a real challenge for publishers these days to navigate advertising technology. It seems like every 6 months there's some new challenge. And at Playwire, we make sure that we take all of that pain away from our publishers so they can focus on their core business of publishing.
Terp Adventures take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here, your soul lifts up. Here, you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete, play, with wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Welcome back. It was a little bit of an extended break, but we are here, we are ready, and I think the players are too, so we'll be jumping into the game any second now. We are going to be playing a nice best of 3 against University of Hawaii now. Yeah, so, of course, you know, elephant in the room, Hawaii is pretty far away, so we will be playing on US West servers, so there's probably going to be a little bit of ping.
Yeah, you know, ping is hard, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Ping, I remember playing on like 100 ping and it was hard. Like it's just
Yeah, and that's probably what the players are going to be experiencing a little bit, so.
It's just, you know, it's whatever. It's how the cookie crumbles, but
Yeah.
you know, I have faith that our team will be able to
Yeah.
push through the pain.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we just got, you know,
Yeah.
a first-hand experience on how dominant this team is as we're coming into Nepal. I mean, feels like it might be about as far away as Hawaii is from us. So, yeah, we'll be... See, it seems about right.
Yeah, it seems about right. But, I mean, actually, sorry, I was just going to point out some interesting things. We see both Tony and Infectious in. Both the
wow.
resident tank players. I guess we might be seeing a little bit of fun. I mean,
I think that Tony does play a little bit of that flex DPS,
usually he
although
plays Genji.
now that I think about it, I mean, you know, no shade to Tony, but we do have Jay Keeses. So I think you're right. I think that they're just having, you know, they're just enjoying this game. I mean, I think that really the stressful one was was the other one. Now,
Yeah, I mean, if
we'll
I
see.
was in that game, I'd want to take a load off too. I mean,
Yeah,
ooh.
no, that was one hell of a
It was very
game.
intense, but
But
here
we're
we
coming
go.
in now. We're seeing sim teleports for both teams, and then Tony back onto that Echo. We're seeing a switch onto Tracer from the enemy team. But otherwise, very similar teams. The Orisa is going to be opted for from both teams now. Has that ability to take the long range, the high ground fights, as well as playing on the point. But we're seeing the engage Pumpkin getting that speed boost onto the back line. Not quite going to be able to find anybody. Tony is falling kind of low, but teams are kind of swapped. Are they going to be able to find the Kiriko? She escapes with just a sliver of HP. And Speed is going to take a shot to the face, and he's going to go down. But Terps have been able to take control of the point, but they're going to be forced off. And now it looks like University of Hawaii is going to be taking an early lead in this game.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see. Missing that shot on the Kiriko is absolutely crucial as she is able to get behind cover. A bit of a slip up there, but I mean, first fight, kind of whatever, right? I mean, now both teams can come back with their half-filled ultimates. And we are going to see a Pulse Bomb on the side of University of Hawaii, but Pulse Bomb, especially with Kiriko Cleanse being in the game, very hard to get value out of.
Yeah, but on the other hand, so much value is provided by that cleanse, and
like
as you were saying
said.
that, maybe jinxed them a little bit, as Tony's going to fall to that Pulse Bomb probably before any cleanse come out. It can be hard if you got a stick just as Echo's flying away. It can be very hard to land that cleanse. So
yeah, straight up caster curse there. My bad, y'all.
but we're seeing another engage from Terps Esports any second now as they get the full team back up and running, as they just push into a main, going right to point.
Yeah, look at this disruption. We are going to see the Orisa ult come out, but most players are going to get out of it. Beat comes out on UMD. He's only going to hit 2 players, but it's going to keep Steep alive in the fight for the most part, while Moose is the first person to fall. And now Infectious with the Orisa ultimate is going to find one, but will fall slowly after. Tony going to copy the Cassidy. Can he find anything? He's going to find one. Can he find the Kiriko on point? She's going to TP out. It's just the supports left. Pumpkin and Tony going. Oh my gosh, Pumpkin. Did you see that?
No, there's some bloodlust on that little frog, as he's able to find the last 2 in that fight, and then back up and also be a taxi.
Yeah, that felt personal. I'm not going to lie. I just saw a big pearl right to the face.
Yeah. This really goes to show the state of the economy. Pumpkin forced to have 2 jobs, both as a hitman and a taxi driver. But now Speed coming in with the overclock, but a beautiful javelin coming out from that enemy Orisa, going to shut down Speed. Tony is going to be able to find a counter pick. So UMD is still in the perfectly fine position, just happy to hold and just keep on taking down this clock.
Yeah, and we're going to see Moose taking a swap to the Moira, which... Oh, and actually Hawaii is going to flip over the point here, so now UMD kind of getting pressured to push the point out here. And both teams really having no ult, so this is just going to be just a raw skill 5v5. And here we see Speep on the flank, perhaps getting a little bit dangerous. He's going to back up, but this Tracer in the backline just getting so much value in the stick onto Moose. But Moose runs into the Tracer, is able to take her out. The Beat's going to come out to sustain the fight. There's so much going on right now. Infection's just going to run in, take out the enemy Orisa, but he's dropping dangerously low. Only Lucio heals. He stops around the corner. And looks like all is calm.
Somehow finds just a little bit of reprieve in the corner. And here we see that copy. Just from a couple fights ago, a beautiful grenade, and then able to run down, and we unfortunately we can't see Pumpkin's POV. I'm sure that was exciting, but yeah, a great fight, and we're seeing now up to 65 seconds. University of Hawaii probably needs to win this fight now. I don't think that they're going to have another opportunity if they lose this.
Yeah, coming up on last fight territory for both teams, whether Hawaii wins this fight or they lose. And they're going to have the ultimate advantage. The Orisa is going to try to go in, going to pull back Infectious, but the Lucio is going to fall and get traded out for Tony's Echo, but it's not going to matter as Moose is going to pop that Coalescence and keep everyone up, but the point is going to get flipped over by this Tracer, this pesky Tracer. And Moose, dropping dangerously low, is going to fall without that fade, but Speep's going to answer back with a kill on that Tracer. Cleanse is going to come out. Kiriko's going to dodge most of the damage on that, but it doesn't matter if you dodge the damage if you can't keep your team alive. And now that Speep is back with the overclock, it's looking almost hopeless for Hawaii. 87% and ticking, perhaps can get another touch, but Tony with the only ult in the field right now with that copy. And now UMD needing to take out this Tracer before she gets a touch, and she is going to touch the point. And here's Tony with the copy playing very aggressive, poking out that Winston, and now Hawaii just can't seem to get a touch, and first map goes first
point.
First round, sorry, goes over to UMD.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take that village. And, you know, I think that's actually a really important, you know, round win for UMD because, you know, as we saw in that first series, they really like their brawl comps. And Village is definitely the most open of the 3 points here. Sanctum and Shrine are both, yes, are both, you know, pretty tight, especially if you just play point. So, yeah, that's a huge win. And as we're going now into Sanctum, we're still seeing that Orisa come out from Terps Esports into that Sigma though. Even though Sigma is kind of a staple of the Terps Esports roster, so how that ends up going.
Yeah, I think UMD kind of wants to take the... Yeah, we're going to see UMD on this brawl comp just wanting to take the fight to Hawaii, but Hawaii, they're playing poke. They want to sit back. They want UMD to just die in the middle of their rotation. And you know what? Maybe it just doesn't matter because Speak is just going to take out the Tracer with the Sticky Bomb. And a seamless transition here over to the other side of the point. And now UMD has all this space to work with, and Hawaii just kind of has to work their way back up.
Yeah, but you know we already see the Orisa being forced to back up and you know play around the corner, even though you want to play at that choke point. Speep taking a little bit of a what felt like an ego 1v1. Unfortunately, just not going to be able to get that pick onto the Tracer. Moose falling dangerously low, but he does get the immortality field off. But Tony's gonna fall. That Tracer able to find 2 for the fight, and almost goes down. But she has that recall. And now UMD is just playing for time, anything that they can get.
Yeah, a bit of an overstep, I think, there on Speep, and maybe it was just an overestimation of his abilities, but we are going to see a bit of a replay in that first map. The Speep with the overclock taking out the Lucio, taking out the Kiriko, and honestly, that ult there sealed Hawaii's fate.
Yeah, and that first round for sure. But as we come into this next round, we're seeing a lot of ultimates come out from Hawaii. They're all online, so UMD has to be very careful and make sure that they don't overextend if they're not able to back up. They're just gonna fall. The Dragon Strike is gonna come out from Pogda having a little bit of a tech issue maybe, but unfortunately, you know, that's gonna be it. He does find the kill onto the Baptiste, but it's just not gonna be enough. Speed not quite gonna be able to find that Tracer.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of fell apart there. I'm not too sure what happened on the backside, but I think maybe Pumpkin, Speep, and Tony just didn't play quick enough, and so Infectious and Moose just kind of got walked on, and you know, it's hard to survive against a lot of... Look at the damage coming out. The Hanzo, the Discord, and yeah, Tony's gonna fall to that Zen. It's hard, especially if you're trying to flank her on the side, not get picked off, and...
I mean, there's just so much damage. Literally every single player on that, on that Hawaii side has the ability to beat you in a 1v1. I mean, you know, Terps Esports, they have the Lucio and the Moira who don't have, you know, the greatest output. They focus more on their utility. And, you know, speaking of Pumpkin, he's going to end up falling in this fight. Speed just running for the hills. I mean, what are you going to do? Tony able to find 2. I might have counted Terps Esports out of this fight a little bit too soon. Tony's going to find 3, and that's going to seal this fight.
Oh my gosh, Tony in the backline. I wish we could get a replay on that, or like at least his perspective, because he took out 1, 2, 3 players, and I'm pretty sure he even one-clipped that Tracer if my eyes do not deceive me. So very impressive stuff coming out from Tony, just practically clawing the game back into UMD's favor.
Yeah, no, I mean, we should have believed in Tony. My faith is ever increasing. You know, every single fight that we see him, and now Terps Esports have kind of flipped the script a little bit. I mean, they're the ones who have a massive ult advantage. They're trying to push out this room. So we're going to be seeing an Orisa ultimate here, able to push the healers both out of that immortality field. Unfortunately, we're going to see the Zenyatta ultimate come out, and it's going to save everybody. And with only 8% left.
But Speep on the backside of the fight is going to be able to take out 1. And can he survive against the Tracer? Gonna take the 1v1, but dropping to half HP. Takes out the Tracer. Speep. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely massive because now UMD is on the point. 3v4. And now it's just going to get flipped back over with little to no resistance from Hawaii, but Pumpkin not in the position you want to be. He is going to fall.
He's going to fall with B2. That's an absolutely pivotal ultimate, especially because we see the Gravitic Flux. We see that Pulse Bomb. Both of these abilities, ultimates can be essentially canceled, but a huge rock going to be shutting down Moose's ultimate, and that's going to seal the deal for Terps Esports almost certainly. We see the beat coming down, but it's too late now. I said it may be counter Graphitic Flux, but not if everybody's dead.
Yeah, you absolutely hate to see it. That proc was just so unfortunate. Just kind of flung towards Moose and just smacked him in the face, and it's really, really unfortunate there. But now Terps got to realize, I mean, these players, yeah, they're not bad. I mean, they gotta kick into gear a little bit. And I know we said that this team takes a little bit to warm up, but you'd think that the last match they'd already be warmed up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't carry over series by series, but
I mean, fair enough.
Here's the problem. Last series was the best of 5.
Yeah.
They had 2 games that they were allowed to lose before that they could spend to like warm up. 2 games in a best of 3. Of course, that's it. So if they lose this match, it doesn't matter how much warming up they need to do. They just need to win.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna see the counter matchup here. Actually, exactly 5 for 5. We're gonna see 5 players matching each other, and it's just a straight up mirror matchup.
Yeah, 5 heroes out of both teams are exactly the same. The Cassidy and that Tracer kind of shutting each other down. The Arista just holding down the fort, and then Lucio Kiriko able to get that offensive pressure. And most importantly, in this composition, they're not going to die. But
wow.
someone who is going to die is Tony, as he's going to lose the initial 1v1 fight to the Tracer.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see, because especially now that the enemy Tracer has free range over this fight, and Moosey and Speed are just going to fall in quick succession. And that really spells the end of this first fight for UMD. But we are going to see Tony swapping onto this Echo. Perhaps he's more comfortable in this pick, or maybe it's just Echo being absolutely broken. But I do think Echo is going to help a lot here. If you just focus on that Orisa, get her half, get the focusing beam. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody dies.
Yeah.
Should be pretty easy. Should be.
Terps Esports now going for that left side to engage onto the point, but they still have to push out. As soon as they walk past that little building there, they lose almost all of their cover. Infection is able to get them out behind the pillar, and Speed able to get that Cassidy as he just steps out a little bit too far. Unfortunately, Moosey and Tony are going to fall, and Speed getting run down by this Tracer. He's going to go down any second now, and that's another fight lost for Esports.
I mean, I wouldn't count them out just yet. Infectious and Pumpkin being up. Okay, just kidding. I take it back. Pumpkin and Infectious gonna be the last ones to fall in this fight. And now, as we see the clock ticking up, 58%, 59% on the point, desperation is about to kick in for UMD. And I mean, that Kiriko will just allow to so
going for this Tracer, getting at the stick, and there's just the Kiriko unfortunately not going to be able to jump and get that cleanse off in time. And only 70 seconds left. You really have time to wait for that Echo? Not really. Looks like the full team is going to engage from this high ground. That way, that allows Tony to come down main and still have, still have that off angle. We're going to see the Kitsune rush activate on the point. And unfortunately for Hawaii, they're not going to be able to kite it necessarily. They're just forced to fight that onto point. The beat comes out, and it's going to save most of the team, but not that Tracer who's been doing so much work.
Steve is going to get taken down by the enemy Arista, but look, it's Tony in the backline on an absolute rampage, just trying to look for any pick he can. Infectious is going to be the one to fall, and it's not looking good. The copy comes out at a perfect time, copying the Arista, highest health pool on the field right now. They needed a tank. Infectious will be the tank, desperately trying to get his Arista ult as his ultimate ticks down towards the end of its life. And will he get it? 87-90. He's not going to get it. And now UMD just looking absolutely desperate.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Speed though. He has that overclock. If he's able to pop that safely and just get a couple headshots, that could flip the fight just like that. But maybe without it, Terps Esports are going to be able to flip the fight, give them just a little bit of an opportunity if they need to back off the point. And speaking of backing off the point, that's exactly what University of Hawaii is going to do now that there's no more pressure to win that fight necessarily. Pulse is going to miss onto Speed, and UMD are looking as well as they have this entire this game so far.
Yeah, look at this. The B is going to come. Haters going to chase down Speed. Oh, it's so hard to escape these players when they're just running at you. And now it's a 4v5 left on the side of UMD. Now Tony almost back up to a second copy, and Tony is going to take down the Orisa. Pumpkin's going to fall in the back line, and so is Moose, but Tony and Infectious are just bringing this back from the brink. Infectious taking out the Cassidy, and the Tracer will just jump off the map so as to avoid a stagger, but oh my gosh,
What
Tony
a
and
fight.
Infectious.
Yeah, that was such an exhilarating fight. It was back and forth, but UMD eventually able to, you know, with the help of, you know, especially that ultimate coming out from Tony on the Echo to, you know, that seemed like that was enough to seal for UMD. And as we're ticking up to 60%, they're actually they're looking pretty good so far. This, you know, certainly could be, you know, a little bit of a reverse sweep on this map. A full ult dump from both teams. Nobody's quite gonna fall, but that Lucio is so low, he ends up getting the Mega. And now Infectious going back in with the benefit of that Kiriko boost, but you know, Cassidy forces him to back up a little bit.
Yeah, around 76% now on the point, and Speed finding the opening pick on the Cassidy. That is absolutely huge, but do not count Hawaii out of this match. They have the ults. Here comes the Orisa ult, takes down one, takes down two. The B comes out perhaps a little bit too late as they lose Speed and Moose, and Infectious is going to fall after the Kiriko is going to come out. Now it's stall time. Pumpkin needs to survive so the rest of his team can come back, but he's going to get hacked and taken out by the Sombra. And as the Wick takes down, that is brutal. I don't think Tony could touch in time. And Nepal goes to the University of Hawaii.
Yeah, no, they that was a really exciting match for both teams. I thought that UMD, I mean, they've been doing so well, you know, all night of, you know, getting that pick with Speep and then. You know, just diving on that, but unfortunately it's just not enough quite to do it. We're going to be seeing that play of the game from Tony, that, you know, he was able to finally seal Terps Esports win this round. And yeah, no, just beautiful aim. And now is when we're going to see most likely some adaptations come out from Terps Esports.
For sure. I mean, best of three, like now you're at match point, and you got to figure something out. I mean, that whatever you guys were running wasn't working, and it's kind of hard. It's a tough truth. I can't speak to face that kind of thing. So they got to pull something out. I mean, honestly, I'm not too sure. I mean, just like last time, a lot of things happen in these fights, and it's a lot of little micro plays here and there. I mean, we could probably talk about Moose getting picked off by the Deadeye at the beginning of a few of those fights, but in reality, we don't know what he's seeing. We don't know if he's being forced out by the Tracer or if he just thought he cleansed in time. Like, there's a lot of, maybe a pixel of his foot was sticking out. That
yeah, I mean, I think that first fight, you know, you can say like, oh, you know, High Noon is such a bad ultimate. Nobody ever dies to that, but he didn't really die to High Noon. He was pulled out of cover by the Orisa ultimate.
Oh.
And that was, you know, Hawaii was able to combo those two ultimates, and they actually work really well together. Not only is it pull, it also slows so you can't escape the High Noon, and also does a little bit of damage, so you don't need to lock on for quite as long. So, yeah, no, it was just a great combo from Hawaii to be able to take it, and they've really been playing so well as a team so far.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaii, I'm thoroughly impressed. I honestly thought this was going to be a bit of a steamroll, but I guess I was wrong. I want to talk about Hawaii's Tracer because they are putting on an absolute masterclass. I feel like every pulse bomb that comes out is a stick. It's a pick at the beginning of a fight, and it's just delaying UMD so much, and they got to find an answer.
Yeah, I think what they need to do right now is I don't know what the rules are for this ABC tournament, but if they're able to go onto one of their comfort picks like Circuit Royale or something where Speep can go onto Widowmaker or where Tony can play that Sigma, something like that. I think UMD really needs something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the vibes are still high. I can hear some yelling from outside the door. I'm not too sure what that's about. But we're going to figure out what comes up next after this break. We will see you all then. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to get into game 2 real quick. And wow, Eichenwald. Honestly, I haven't seen this map like what at all.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the same thing about Nepal. I haven't seen this map in so long, and I'm really happy to see them. Some of my personal favorite maps. I actually really enjoy both of these maps. And it's like that we haven't been able to see them in a while. But we're gonna be seeing Tony back on that Zarya, like we know, and Jakeez is back in the game. I think Terps has had one game of a little bit of a reprieve, but Lucio gets a little bit too rambunctious, and he's gonna fall. Jakeez is saying, I'm here now. You can't bully this team anymore, as UMD is gonna get a team wipe.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really quick team wipe, literally in the first 40 seconds of this game. And we're going to get a replay here. Oh, on the last map, and it's Infectious going absolutely ham on the wrecking ball here.
Yeah,
taking
I love
out the Cassie.
Going to be able to catch him before he even hits the ground.
Oh, and as we're watching that, we see Jakeez is getting a little bit wrecked there. That's no bueno. But, okay, but Tony just answers back with a kill on the Tracer, and perhaps all the DPS here getting a little bit too brave.
Yeah, no, I think they might have gotten a little bit comfortable, and Jakeez is here to put them in their place a little bit.
Yeah.
Make sure you know where you stand.
Yeah, and Tony on that Zarya. I mean, Zarya is just so hard to play into, especially if you're Orisa. It just feels like no tank counter Zarya besides Zarya. So if you can't play Zarya, you're pulling out of luck.
Yeah, the problem is that Speep is a beautiful shot. Gonna be able to take out that Hanzo, and they're just gonna keep running forward. If they're gonna be able to get any more picks, Orisa's still fighting, and she is gonna be able to escape, even though the window came out from Terps East West. But Jakeez again, just saying, Tracer, stop it, just switch, buddy. You're not gonna beat me.
Yeah, you may have been doing a lot last match, but not anymore. Now that I'm here to counteract you. And UMD keeping it stable. Although they are going to use the window there, I don't think they're going to lose much. But right as we were talking about him, Jakeez, he may have been causing discord in the backline, but that doesn't matter if you're dead on the ground. And now UMD in a 4v5 situation, but they do have the grab, they do have the overclock, and they're just going to push forward under the stuff. It gets eaten by the spinny thing. And Tony's going to answer back with a kill onto the Tracer, but look at... Oh, Speepy keeps missing the shots because of the Kiriko ult, and it's possible. Oh, the stick's going to come out, but it's going to get counteracted by the beat. Jakeez is back. UMD sheltering in this room, and Tony's going to kill the Orisa, kill the Hanzo. I don't know how he's been alive in this fight. Pulse Bomb comes out, he jumps over it. Hello? And...
somehow Tony just basically wipes the team. I don't know what happened, but as soon as that beat was over, Hawaii had been doing such a good job of playing against that Zarya, making sure she wasn't able to get any picks, and then the beat goes down. I think they thought, we're all under that ability to speed. Getting a little bit creative with the Bastion, but I don't think they see him.
Oh no!
They finally see him, but here comes the window. It's gonna melt down. A whole bunch of players. The grasp is going to come out, and unfortunately, they're not gonna be able to find anybody. But Speed is looking backwards. What is he doing? He's not quite getting any kills, though. That's for sure.
He's
able to do what Speed was not able to. Be able to find 2 for the fight. Jakeez is getting a 3rd. Tony going in for more, and that's going to be another team wipe. I mean, there, a couple of the teammates had respawned by the time that they found that Hanzo, so it's not going to say it, but we know in our hearts that was a 5-man.
I mean, literally, all the window had to do was scare off the rest of University of Hawaii, and now look at this. Tony hiding in the corner with the pulse bomb. It's gonna be massive. It finds the BAP. They kill the BAP, and they don't even need the pulse bomb. Tony is gonna live this encounter. And Jakeez going in for yet another kill, and Speed cleaning up the front line. But now look, the Lucio and the Sigma have gotten onto the point, but it's not really going to matter in a 5v2 situation. Actually, I'm sorry, my bad. It's the Tracer, not the Lucio. But still, it's not going to matter much. She just keeps running into these fights. Lucio's going to be back now, try to stall it out. Hanzo comes from spawn. Kiri goes back to stall it out even more. But what does it even mean if Tony is just beaming people down, and Jakeez is just spawn camping the Hanzo? It doesn't even matter one bit.
Yeah,
and
that's a full hold on Eichenwald, and I'm a little bit distraught. I wanted to see more Eichenwald.
Really?
I miss it.
Personally, I hate this map with a passion. Specifically the second point, I can't stand that.
No, that's fair.
So
maybe it's good that we didn't see the second point.
Yeah,
maybe I would have hated it again.
I would have gotten really tilted, just like by watching.
Yeah.
Because that high ground is so oppressive. But you know what? UMD making the first map high ground look so oppressive. So
Yeah.
I really do think it's Tony Zarya. And like, Sigma, sure, might have a better chance faring against it than the Orisa, but still,
Yeah.
no dice.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, feels like every single tank. We saw, Ramatra try to beat that Zarya. We saw Winston try to beat that Zarya. Now we've seen Sigma try to beat the Zarya. I mean, technically we saw Orisa try to beat the Zarya, but it's such a good matchup for Zarya that, I almost don't want to count it. But they're going back to the Orisa, and, I want to say that I'm curious why they're doing it, but I know why. It's because there's nothing left to try. They've been scrimming this Orisa. It's the only thing that they know how to do, probably. I mean, I'm sure that they know the other tanks, but this is how the team has been playing together. So, what do you do when the Zarya is just this good?
Go Junkrat.
Well, UMD doing exactly that as we see Jake is coming out of spawn with that, as well as Speep on that Genji, even though we normally see him on the hit scan. So,
oh wow, Speep Genji. I don't know how I feel about Speep Genji. I feel like it's a bit cursed. And they're also walking out with the Junkrat. I mean, one tick is all you need. And Zarya already at 100 charge. Gonna be dealing out massive damage. And I mean, Hawaii's already pushed back to the point, already terrified of walking forward, and Pumpkin won't be winning this Tracer?
Yeah, I mean,
the
oh my god, beautiful shots from Pumpkin. Just gonna shut that Tracer down. Speep getting that Cassidy just down to such low HP, finally gonna be able to find him. And now Terps Esports, they only need to pick up a couple more players in order to get the clean win. Just down to this Lucio now, he's gonna fall, and Tony, dominant performance.
To quote Sigma, they all fall down, and dang, that look at the Tracer going for Pumpkin at the end there and just getting absolutely blasted. If that's not a metaphor for this match, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And you can see now all smiles back on the board, and just Tony, I don't know what else to say. Like, just how do you deal with this? Zarya just does so much damage, and if she's stomping in your face, what do you do?
Yeah, no, I mean, we can talk about the team play and the game sense of these players all day, but at the end of the day, you saw that tracking, right? Like, you saw it?
What do you do?
What do you do? The answer is, I don't know, just stand still, just let him kill you just that little bit quicker. It probably isn't going to matter because he's going to hit the shots anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could stand still and not stagger yourself, but like,
yeah.
Oh my lord, like this team, guys, why is King of the Hill the map we always drop? I don't understand. Why can't we? It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Stay strong, Kings. You'll
stay strong, Kings.
You'll win it eventually.
Even a king must lay down their crown at some point.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we saw in the first series. We're seeing it again. Yeah, you might drop that first game, but once they activate, I mean, they just run away with it.
It's blistering. I'm so.
Yeah.
It hurts to watch a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Because, like, the team that we saw on the first map feels so different from what we just saw on the second map.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you're absolutely right when you say that the first map did feel a little bit chaotic. Like, a lot of people trying to take those 1v1 fights and just dying for it. I mean, there were a lot of 1v1 fights in this, but, here they were just winning.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe they were just, maybe they were just activated this game. Maybe they played the same way.
Pumpkin 1v1 the Tracer. Tango, I know you're in the chat.
Yeah.
Take notes, my man, okay? Like, I guess I should too, because I play Lucio sometimes, but like...
No, but, I mean, it's Overwatch, so blame everybody else and not you.
No, so true.
Yeah.
So true.
That's the secret. If you're losing your ranked games,
it's not your
fault. It's never your fault.
It's always your tank's fault, actually.
No. It's always off supports.
No.
No.
The blame game, I guess.
Yeah, and the cycle starts anew.
Oh my gosh. I think things are pretty loud right now. I think I just heard Route 66. Is that the next map we're going to?
I think so.
Escort?
Escort sounds about right. We've seen...
It is Route 66.
We've seen a little bit of King of the Hill, and then we just saw, of course, Hybrid. So Escort sounds about right.
Yep.
And I think that this is the change of pace that they needed. Zarya isn't very strong, I think. on Route 66. She can maybe do a little bit on the first
I'd
point.
say you could get away
She
with
cannot.
it.
You can't get away with Zarya on the second point. I
point,
think.
maybe not.
If
no.
you get, if you're trying to play against like an Ashe or like a Cassidy on the high ground,
or a Winston.
yeah. So Zarya, we probably won't be seeing that. We're probably going to be seeing Infectious back on the tank, doing his shenanigans. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for Route 66.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a Dive Winston comp. I also wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a Sigma Poke comp, like Sigma Widow Ashe.
Yeah.
Maybe a Tracer, maybe a Junkrat if you want to get spicy. I'll never forget Route 66 because one time, I know this isn't Premier, but on Academy we did play Junkrat one time in Route 66, and shout out to Why Not, he actually destroyed them and he actually tilted them a lot because they were streaming and it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
so,
it sounds optimal playing the mental game as well
literally.
as just beating them.
I hope we see Junkrat because it'd be funny, but
we'll find out. Honestly,
we'll find out.
The way that they were playing on Eichenwald,
probably
we could see anything.
Honestly, yeah.
So, super excited. We should be hopping into this game any second now.
Yeah.
And do you have any other hopes for this match? I want to see a little bit more Speep.
I want to see
on
Alari.
On that Widowmaker.
I want to see Alari.
Alari is crazy.
I want to see Pumpkin get on Alari.
Okay, I don't
think he plays
Pumpkin.
Alari,
if you're hearing
if you're
this,
listening,
like stop for a second.
No,
but
just do it. Like it'd be funny.
But I for Terps' sake, maybe we don't see Pumpkin on Alari. We'll see though. Who knows? Maybe he's been labbing Alari. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what they've been doing in scrims or
Yeah.
solo queue.
No, you know what? You're right. Pumpkin. Let's see the Alari. So yeah, no, super. Alari would be crazy.
Actually, wait, like
Alari Junkrat.
I feel like I never see Alari. Like actually never.
Yeah, with the recent changes, I think the biggest problem that really put her in the dirt is she was in just the right range. The breaking points made it so it was like 3 headshots or something, which felt right.
Like Kiriko, I guess. I mean, I don't really remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but
did they reduce her damage? I
don't think they didn't reduce her damage,
reduced her
quote unquote.
hitbox.
But I mean, they also increased everybody's HP, and I think that's what it was. Is it changed the breaking points?
Yeah,
and
that's definitely it.
And so the combos that were working and getting KOs, just kind of stopped working.
Yeah, I mean Alari. There's just a lot of counterplay to Alari. I think.
Yeah.
You kill the pylon, you eat her ult, and yes, we are going to be on the Route 66, and we are seeing that Zarya. I'm telling you.
We're seeing Speed on the Widowmaker. That was another thing that I was secretly hoping for.
They just want to go home. It's about 10:30 here in the studio. For those, I mean, obviously, okay, who wouldn't be watching this where it's not 10:30 if you weren't like on East Coast or Maryland?
Could be some study abroad, but it looks like the players aren't just there. They're just casually in Texas, right? That what Route 66 is probably.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful shot from Speed. The Zenyatta just peeking out just a little bit too far, and Jakiza is going to fall to that Sigma. But Speed's got his angle now. There's no shield to stop him, and completely forces those enemies' team into that gas station, and frankly right back into the welcoming arms of Tony. And I was wrong. He's back on Zarya. He's making it work too.
Yeah.
Melting down that Sigma and Speed. Yeah, another shot. I mean, he wasn't quite given the opportunity yet, but there it is. And another shot. You just can't forget about him. But it's so. That's the predicament here, is you can't forget about Speed because he's gonna get the headshots, and you can't forget about Tony because he's gonna melt you, but you can't focus on both of them at the same time. So what do? And I mean, do you want to say it?
I see Alari.
We see an Alari.
Now, granted, I don't think it's gonna be too much, but I think it's funny. Jakiza is gonna fall, but I mean, like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Point capture, 5 minutes left on the clock. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. I need to slow down a little bit.
Got it.
Let's take some breaths, everyone. Some calm, cleansing breaths.
Gotta be careful for this. We're seeing a window coming out from Hawaii, but Speed just getting a shot. It doesn't matter. And he's even peeking the window a little bit. Crazy thing to do with Widowmaker. Jakiza's trying to do the same thing, but he's gonna fall for it. But now that the window goes down, Speed has full range. We're gonna be seeing a very quick ultimate come out from the Alari, but Tony says, Try charging it again. I don't believe it. I don't believe that you charged it. And
You want to see me do it again?
while we're talking about charging, Tony Maximum just melting down these players.
Like, I just don't think Hawaii has an answer to the Zarya, and it hurts to see it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Terps, that can be what Overwatch comes down to, is can you find the character that the enemy team can't deal with, and Terps Esports have done that. That Zarya is just ransacking that Ohio team. And the window coming out, helping out Speed. The blade is going to come out after all those players have been trapped in that little box. They're able to find the Sigma. JKZ is falling very, very low, but even if he falls, the point is going to be capped anyway. JKZ is going to be kept up, just staying high in the sky, looking like he's doing his best fair impression. Speed doing his best headshot impression as he gets the kill onto Hanzo.
Best headshot impression. That was a good one.
Thank you.
And I just, oh my gosh, like, Tony was the first one to fall in that fight, and it literally, oh, what are we doing?
Speed, where are you going? Where are you going, Speed?
Are we gonna go blind? What did he just do?
Messing with Pumpkin a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't. I spoke a little bit too soon about JKZ is doing a fair impression.
Oh
As we see him coming out with it now. Gonna be hard to get the healing on him, of course, with Baptiste plus Widowmaker and Speed. It doesn't matter. You're absolutely right. Gonna be able to find the shot onto the Alari. And he's looking at the back, looking out for maybe a Tracer. I don't think there's anybody there, Speed, but you can keep looking.
We do a little bit of trolling.
And Farrah falling so low, but not quite going to be falling. And Terps Esports is just still pushing the cart. No, they've yet to find really a roadblock, really much of an impediment at all. Tony going from the high ropes, going to be able to find the immortality field coming down, but they're still going to be able to find that Baptiste. The beat comes down to save them all through that gravitic flux.
Oh my gosh. Tony almost lived there, but he will fall toward. Oh, man. Like, what even, dude? Like, what do you do against that?
Yeah, why even move when you could just walk into Speed's line of sight? Because it feels like it doesn't matter.
He's playing melee Widowmaker. Like, what is this confidence?
Yeah, and here comes the Infrasight as well. He's probably going to be able to find a peek. I mean, that Laurie can't even walk out of spawn. If she does, she's just going to lose her head. I mean, she's still just scared walking in spawn. And there's the shot from onto that Baptiste. JKZ is going to go down on onto that Zarya, but I don't think it makes much of a difference. Tony going to be finding that Tracer, and with the window down, I mean, nobody can walk onto point, and Tony's just going to melt through the rest of them. There goes Ramatra, there goes Alari, and there goes the point.
Yeah, just cleaning up the last few stragglers here. Genji being the last one on the plane, possibly also a Tracer we can test, but with Tony's beam, like, it literally just does not matter. Like, oh my god, okay. Ball stall time, I guess. With the Curie, like, Tony is he's just a sentry turret at this point. Simone, okay, we saw the ult.
Is he pressing WASRD? I don't think he is. I think he's just sitting up there, just padding his stats. Just
like, he's just a sentry turret, like, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Like,
yep. Target acquired?
Yeah.
Target
like,
down. Target acquired. Target down. Oh, there's someone over there. No, there isn't.
It's like Speed, like, yeah, it's just so hard. And I really do think it is hard to counter Zarya without a Zarya of your own.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe Hawaii just, like you said, hasn't scrimmed it. Maybe they're not as comfortable on it. Whatever the reason may be, but they're just having such a hard time dealing with Tony Zarya.
Yeah. And the problem with Zarya is that not only does she have so much damage, but she's one of the few tanks who are able to keep full damage uptime even while using their survivability abilities. I mean, you only really have like Winston, Sigma are the only characters that come to my mind off the dome that can keep up that full damage uptime. Everybody else, they have to choose between keeping their team alive and keeping themselves alive and doing damage. So
yeah. And Zarya, I mean, I know it's been a while since Overwatch 2 has come out, but like those new changes on Zarya, actually, heck, it's been 9 seasons. What am I talking about? But like, the 2 bubbles you can use for yourself are absolutely crucial, because if you're the one under pressure, like, you can just bubble yourself and live for like practically, it's like 10 more seconds for those bubble durations. Like, it is crazy. And I guess I might have influenced something, because we're seeing Moose on the Alari, not quite Pumpkin, but still, I will take it because. Like, whatever,
I mean, dude. Yeah, we can talk about, Moose is on Alari, Pumpkin's on Baptiste, Speep's on Widowmaker. So
GG.
At the so you know, it seems like they don't have to fight. I mean, you know, this is literally exactly what I just said. Yeah, technically Moose is on Alari, but he's just kind of standing there. So
Yeah.
Speed, you know, fully, you know, able to just kind of roam free, looking for this Tracer. Not quite gonna be able to find him, and is forced to back up, but you know, still fully up and controlling this high ground. If any of the supports try to go around that corner, I mean, they're just gonna lose their head.
Not gonna find the shot. But like, there's just so much sustain on this high ground. It's just so hard to dive. But as I say that, Pumpkin's gonna get dove, and Jaquise is dropping dangerously low. Gonna get one HP, but saved by the Immortality Field. They're gonna shelter in this cave. But now, U Hawaii with all the space needed to maybe get a push up. But the Winston perhaps getting a little bit too overzealous, but it doesn't matter because he's got the Primal Rage. And UMD perhaps crumbling here, perhaps getting a little bit too overconfident. The Winston in the back line just causing the utmost chaos. And is that a first point capture? I think it is.
Yeah. No, there's definitely, there's no way that UMD, even if they touch the point, they're just not going to have a chance in this fight. They would need to use all of their abilities to get on just to touch, but they're not going to bother doing it. There's no point. May as well just hold on to this high ground. And side note, I just gotta say, it is weird seeing Pumpkin on anything other than Lucio.
I know, it's so weird. We call him Lucio King for a reason, and we joke that he's not getting anything other than Lucio just because of how important Lucio is to a lot of these comps. But I guess on Route 66 you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, if there's if there's a map to just go somebody who can just control high ground and do damage, this is it. Unfortunately, Jaquise is not going to be able to control the high ground as he misses his jump a little bit, but he'll be back up there any second now. There's not too much of a concern. And Speed now onto that Cassidy, just saying, you know, Tracer, you're being a little bit annoying. Fortunately, that Immortality Field is going to be able to save Speed as he walks right over it, right over that pulse bomb. And UMD just cleaning up. I mean, if there's somewhere you want to be with a Zarya, it's definitely not inside of a room.
For sure, especially with Tony Zarya.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talk about how Pumpkin doesn't, okay, well now he's back on the Lucio, interesting healing comp for sure, but his Immortality Field saved Speed from the Pulse Bomb, like absolutely huge, so it just goes to show that, yeah, he plays Lucio, but he is certainly not a Lucio one-trick, he can perform his other characters.
Yeah. We're seeing now a beautiful Bob coming out and just shutting down that Lucio, making sure that he can't go anywhere, and I believe we saw a bubble onto that Bob, so I'd love to see that synergy. You know, they do have they do have a lot of damage on the side of that you know, Hawaii team. So if they wanted to, they could probably burn down Bob pretty quick. The problem is, you know, you run the risk of just keeping Tony at that full charge, and they end up doing both, charging Tony and just dying to Bob anyway. So
both. Yeah. I mean, you can see here, Hawaii is just desperately trying to get anything on the board, trying to get any sense of space, but, oh, I see the grab play, Here it comes!
Yep, able to find the Kiriko. She gets the cleanse off, but she's not able to jump out because of the way that this Graviton Surge works, and she's going to be able to pick up that healer, as well as Speed getting that Tracer with that Deadeye.
No way.
Speed just running down, able to get that Genji. Speed falling very low. Pumpkin as well. Pumpkin's gonna fall. Speed is able to get out, but still they're just so low, and only Alari heals. It's probably not gonna be enough to keep them up. Tony's gonna fall, and now with only Alari heals to keep up against the full dive comp, that's gonna be a reset for Terps Esports.
Yikes! It's really not what you want to see. And look, they're chasing Moose to basically his spawn, and he will get hard staggered. But at the end of the day, I do think that UMD perhaps might get another contest, but it just depends on how quickly they regroup and how well they play with Pumpkin's speed. And I see Pumpkin back in spawn at the moment. Perhaps they're going to get another recontest here. And Moose is just going to abandon the Solar Flare, just choose to go back to that Baptiste. And perhaps that's exactly what they needed, because the Immortality Field is going to help all of them live. Jaquitas is going to fall, but they're going to trade out the Tracer. And Tony on the point, becoming Sentry Point mode again, just beaming down these players. The beat comes out. Perhaps not the most necessary thing, but what they needed to get back into this.
I actually completely disagree. That beat, especially because I believe Moose went down early in that fight to that hard dive. So the beat was really the only sustain they had left after, after that Amp It Up came out from Lucio. So I think that was the deciding factor, as a matter of fact. And they got to be very careful about T9. They get the touch with only 1.19 meters. They get it and force that Tracer away, but they do lose all of their positioning as well. Speed now with the Deadeye. If he's able to catch somebody out of position, that can be a kill just like that. Jaquizis finds that Winston. Just like I say, Speed is able to find the Kiriko, and it looks like that's going to be another fight for Terps Esports. Only 45 seconds left, and it's a long walk for University of Hawaii. So they're down to their last fight.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I know we talk about Tony all the time, but that bubble onto Moose who was getting dove, absolutely perfect. It bought them just enough time to get, like, to stabilize and to really counter the dive. And, like, just beautiful coming out here and what is this? Are we trolling?
No, I think Moose was trying to get into a position where he could do a surprise window and just get a KO just like that. But unfortunately, the team is needing a little bit more care than he expected. Here comes the grab on Surge. You know, forcing that Winston to just kind of float there like a piñata. He's gonna pop, and that's gonna be the fight over, as University of Hawaii is just kind of straggling on point. That's gonna be game 3.
Yeah, overtime ticks down, and wow, that was certainly a game.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Props to Hawaii though. I mean, you know,
they
Terps
definitely put up a fight for sure.
No, Terps Esports was trying to be silly, and you know, they forced them onto that. They forced them off of the Alari. They forced Pumpkin back onto the Lucio. I mean, you know, yeah, Terps Esports won, but I mean, they fully they had to try hard that fight. There was no more shenanigans happening at the end of that game.
Yeah, they definitely had to work for it. And you know, at the end of the day, I appreciate it because now we get to go home because I got an exam to study for. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure for about
3 hours.
Yeah, about 3 hours-ish, you know. So we thank you guys for sticking with us. If you're still here from the first game, and this has been Alex, aka Gumi.
I'm Tomas. You can find me at Dormant Dormat.
And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.